in studio this morning. Bro, good morning.
Bangers.
Good morning. I like that, baby. Who you say made that? I need me one of them.
Cordell, man.
Cordell, where you at, baby? I need one of them, baby.
Let's get it. OG, I got you. Yeah. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shaq Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. Not trying to ball like Big Four, then get out the gym. Monday through Friday. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shaq Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. Not trying to ball like Big Four, then get out the gym. Monday through Friday. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shaq Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. Not trying to ball like Big Four, then get out the gym. Monday through Friday. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shaq Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. Not trying to ball like Big Four, then get out the gym. Monday through Friday. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. It's Tingle and Co.
All right, good morning and welcome in here on this Tuesday morning as we are closing out the month of March.
You know what that means?
What's that mean?
April next month.
Yeah.
April showers. Bring Mayflowers.
There you go. Good job.
And the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
We appreciate you starting your morning with us. We are live from our Southern Regional Medical Center studios here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shout out to the crew here at SRMC. You see the folder right here. There's the logo.
Oh, a little snacky snack, fat
There's
boy.
the locations right there. Hey, don't talk about my snacks. A little bit of breakfast. Hey, sometimes you get hungry during the break.
Go a little hungry.
Close out hour
Get on the
number
scale.
one.
Get off the scale.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
What is this?
We appreciate you starting your morning with us as our show is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel every single day. FanDuel Sportsbook is supporting our show through the year of 2026, and we appreciate them. So make sure you go and you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app as I'm going to open it up right now. Or go to the website, the FanDuel Sportsbook website, and see what they've got going on today. As there should be some midweek baseball. LSU plays Southern tonight.
They do indeed.
LSU baseball versus Southern. An in-state matchup, in-city matchup. Baton Rouge stand up as they play tonight. Obviously, March Madness, the Final Four is among us this weekend. So make sure if you want to get more invested than you already are in those matchups, go over to the FanDuel Sportsbook app or the website and sprinkle a little bit. Make sure you gamble responsibly with our friends over at FanDuel. But appreciate everybody getting in here this morning. Appreciate everyone starting their morning with us. But Lloyd, Wyatt, Christian, good morning. How are we doing?
Also gamble on.
Who's going to win the Natty? Which one are you taking?
I'm taking Mr. Headbutt.
Honestly, the odds on
I'm also
UConn,
taking UConn.
and it's plus 650. Now, Michigan and Arizona were two of the four that I named earlier in the year that I thought were going to get in the mix and had a chance.
Don't you think those are bad odds, though, considering they play each other?
Arizona's my
Like, Michigan and Arizona play each other in the Final Four?
I guess, yeah, that does play. Yeah. And also, I think what it's
Well, no,
saying
it's
is whoever
smart.
wins that game
Is going to win
Is
the
going to be
Natty.
the heavy
National
favorite, which I understand that. But you would think they would have a little bit better odds, considering only one of them is going to make the national championship.
Yeah.
game.
But this is how you split the book.
I guess so, yeah. But I would hammer UConn right there.
I mean, the odds on UConn, it would be impossible not to sprinkle.
do what we're all about to do.
I mean, plus 650.
Everyone slides their phone.
I mean, it would be
Best coach in the
crazy
sport.
not to at least
I mean, what you're doing is actually really smart.
sprinkle on the Huskies, as all of us are on our phones right now. Let's see.
No, I'm 20, so
Yeah,
on my
not
phone.
Christian. Not Christian. I meant all of us that are
Of
allowed.
legal age.
It would be
opportunity.
dangerous for me to gamble, but it'd be smart because UConn is plus 650.
It's actually really smart, but it could also be really dangerous because you're not
and
old
if,
enough.
if I were to win this bet, I would
National
flex to the crowd.
champion, UConn plus 650. Okay.
So I think we're all picking UConn over Illinois, it sounds like.
Yep,
What
looks
about-
like it.
Who do we think wins that other game?
Zona,
I'm gonna go
Arizona.
I'm going Arizona.
I'm gonna go
Arizona.
Michigan. I'm gonna take the other side.
So I'm gonna say Arizona.
I'm gonna go Michigan. I think the big guy from Michigan that's like a fifth year. What, Yaxel?
Yaxel, Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Fair enough,
I've got
but I
them.
think Arizona. Their
Also-
But plus
ability
650
to
on UConn is
Is pretty good.
hit clutch
very,
shots.
very, very tempting, persuading. Some would even say. So make sure you go over to the FanDuel Sportsbook and spice up your Final Four viewing experience. But appreciate everybody getting in here. Lloyd, how was mic'd up last night?
Excellent.
Vibes are high after a weekend series win.
I'm just looking at my account. A lot of green. My account seems to go how LSU baseball goes.
There you go.
I will say, a little dialed on the over-unders.
Okay, you're locked in.
No. Dialed.
Dial.
Don't say that word.
No, not. I'm not saying it is a.
Just don't even mention it.
Don't
Don't even bring it up. Don't even talk about it.
Well, the over-unders have been very volatile for LSU baseball. Like, last weekend, it was a lot of unders for Oklahoma. A couple
Vandy,
of
it
overs.
was
Vandy, it was all
over,
over.
Yeah. So you're dialed.
Dialed.
Okay, so tonight,
I wonder if they put that out.
well, we got to find out, and then you have to show us how dialed you truly are.
Well, now I won't hit another one, but
Put
that's
this
okay.
thing to the test. Yeah, you did out yourself.
That's fine.
That's all right. It's part of this.
It's fun run.
It's part of the gig. But we appreciate all of you getting in here this morning.
There's still only plus 1,800 to win the whole thing.
Wow. Yesterday, obviously, was a big day here in Baton Rouge as the new LSU men's basketball coach, new/old, 22/26, head basketball coach was announced and introduced yesterday. Will Wade spoke to the media and the public for the first time as he has returned to Baton Rouge as LSU's head football coach. We have some sound from that. We will play from yesterday's press conference. In addition to that, LSU football back on the Ponderosa today. Christian will roll out in probably a little bit over an hour.
What time is it?
And get over. He'll probably need to leave around 9:30.
Okay.
And head over to the Ponderosa to get some content for you guys. We'll get it posted on YouTube as soon as practice ends. So you can see
He's credentialed right now.
what transpired. It's just make sure you don't forget
I
it.
can't forget it, dude.
Make sure you don't
I'm gonna
forget.
forget it if it's right there.
So we'll make sure to get that out to you today as well. And they also had practice this past Saturday. You can get a chance to talk about it yesterday because Dardar was with us all morning yesterday morning. We appreciate it as he was the SEC Player of the Week. And really, if you looked at the stats when it was announced, there was no competition and or thought. I mean, he hit 600 on the weekend, had a home run, had an outstanding bat flip. What, hit 4 doubles on the weekend? 3 in game one.
So 5 out of his 6 hits were extra base hits.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's absurd.
That's pretty good. Some would say.
Some would say this team might go as Dardar goes.
Some. I mean,
people are talking.
It was a huge weekend for him. He wins SEC Player of the Week. We have got a clip from our guy John Eads. Shout out to John Eads. Put it out on Twitter yesterday after it was announced that Seth Dardar won SEC Player of the Week. Also appreciate Dardar letting me know. I was at the press conference, so I wasn't paying attention to Twitter. When the announcement came through, he shot me over a text. Just got SEC Player of the Week.
Huh.
I was like, well, I'm glad we got to spend the Monday morning with you. Before he found out, we appreciate him coming through yesterday.
It's a Tingle & Co. bump.
If you missed that interview, go check it out. It's posted as a standalone on our YouTube channel. But here is some of the highlights from this past weekend as Seth Dardar wins SEC Player of the Week. Can we get 2 claps? Ready. Here it is. Oh, that's my one.
Indeed it was.
That's pretty good. Might have put the wrong tweet in there. But okay, we can watch it.
It's safe.
These are the benefit now.
I agree.
Played the wrong clip in the document right there, but that's okay. We still enjoy watching Stephen Milam make it. That, I mean, that's one heck of that deserves.
Hey, smart play.
That
take
deserves-
No, it's
smart
actually
play by
really
Dardar.
smart.
It's smart play by
It's
Dardar.
actually really
Yeah,
smart
get out
what
the
you're
way. We
doing.
talked about it. He's like, hey, I just get out the way and watch.
2 claps. Ready. Great play by Stephen Milam. Yeah, good play by Seth Dardar. Stay out the way. Sometimes you just got to let the guy make the play. And he let
Let the game come to you.
Stephen Milam just go out, make that play. But we appreciate him coming through yesterday. Make sure you go check out that interview. But we'll get straight to some of the sound from Will Wade's press conference yesterday. Before we do that, I want to ask the chat in the room your thoughts on yesterday's press conference, hearing from Will Wade's first time back as the head man for LSU basketball.
look, this is going to sound, I'm not poo-pooing the McMahon era, but did it not feel a little bit different in there yesterday? I was saying this, we saw Carl the Cat, shout out.
Shout out.
No, it was obviously boots on the ground. We were just a man in the arena. But that was the second time I'd been to the PMAC this year in terms of men's basketball. One was for a Missouri win, great, retired after that. And then the second time is when Will Wade comes back, and that should speak volumes of, I think everybody in that room was excited to see him. And boy, did he capitalize, because the energy and him just being at the podium again, he can't help himself.
Yeah.
He was trying to be like middleman Dan, very straight-laced, and then every time at the end of it, he's like, I'm going to take a jab. I'm going to take another jab. And I was like, this is the man that should, like, he belongs at LSU. It just felt like there's a quote in here where he's like, not everybody's for LSU and not everybody's for Will Wade, but Will Wade's for LSU and LSU is for Will Wade.
100%.
And it's like, that's the perfect way to put it, honestly.
No, I agree. Wyatt?
Yeah, I thought he was awesome. I mean, in these press conferences, I don't think there's anything you can say where people are going to be like, oh, I don't like that at all. But I mean, objectively, like, the comment he made about making history, awesome. There were just so many things he said that were awesome. And then the little jab at NC State right at the end, like Lloyd said, try to play the middleman. He was, kind of sit on the fence there for a second. And then right at the end, they're pretty mad for a guy. For a coach who's not that good. Yeah. So, I mean, I think he nailed it. I don't think anyone expected anything differently. And like Lloyd said, it was just a different energy in there. I got a little teary-eyed when I saw him walk out with his daughter and his wife. It was a nice sight.
Yeah. Christian, your thoughts? I know you were active in the chat of the...
Yeah, I don't know if my experience was nearly quite the same as y'all's. Me and Cajun Curveball and Gage were going at it in the chat at the NC State fans. Dude, we were holding it down. Front lines in war. But no, I mean, I thought it was good.
You went to war for the general?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, no, it was the war. It was the prelim war. It was the war before the war. But yeah, I thought it was good. I like Noah's question that he asked, a little softball to coach. And then also, I thought it was interesting to hear some of his answers just in general. I mean, we haven't heard him talk about LSU in 4 years. I thought that was refreshing to hear. So,
and to Wyatt's point, you can absolutely lose a press conference. And we were forced to kind of palate the Brian Kelly era. And it's like, I haven't won all my games yet. And then when you go back and look at it, like, what a loser. But this one was a little bit different because, first of all, it's his second crack at something he's already done before, and it's not like he failed. He was unfortunately forced to leave, and that's what makes this thing so interesting. It's a coach that wasn't fired. He was fired for cause, but it wasn't because he lost. It was just, you have to go. And so now for him to be able to come back, and it was welcomed with open arms. Like, people were excited to see him. It doesn't happen this way ever.
Right.
Where it's a much, I guess, maligned nationally, but in Louisiana at LSU, it's like, no, that's our guy. Bring him back.
Yeah.
And shout out to the administration to be able to do that, because it did feel just like basketball almost is back in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought...
And Kim Mulkey was there.
Yeah, and the
I
staff.
walked in with her.
Yeah,
you can also see, I think I put it in the document, I mean, Joe Schwartz made sure to drop the mic when
I saw him there too.
some of the BS LSU BS. As he
Interesting-
put out, I mean, he's like,
interesting
we
times we
were
live in.
there. This photograph is real,
Unlike the account.
unlike that account. But to y'all's point, I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, this should quiet
this
all
is
of
real.
that. This happened. But to y'all's points, I completely agree. Look, it's unfortunate the way it played out for Matt McMahon. Obviously, you've heard the line plenty of times how great of a person he is, because he was, right? It's not just something you say. I mean, he was inherently a great person. But they didn't win basketball games, and so it was time to move on. And maybe it could have been handled differently at the end, where all of this was going on while he still had a job, and then was kind of essentially let go and fired as Will Wade was on a plane to Baton Rouge. Timing-wise, it didn't look the best. But a lot of people in that arena yesterday hadn't been in that place since the last time the General was there. I mean, you could feel the buzz in the building. It's in the title of this show. Brandon says it in the chat right there. Basketball is back. Like, you walked into the PMAC and you could feel the buzz, the energy, and you listen to that man speak, and he stands up on the podium with the microphone with such conviction and belief and passion that LSU basketball is back. It is no longer going to be what it has been, and regardless of the reasons why, since Will Wade has left, LSU basketball hasn't been competitive. It hasn't, right? Whether it's because of the money or the coaching or the support, or go down the list of all the reasons why it could have been behind, doesn't matter. It was. They weren't winning. They weren't exciting. That's just the case of what it was. And that's no disrespect to anyone. There are a lot of factors that played a part in why it was that way, but they weren't good. They didn't win games. It was a losing record. It was not a competitive SEC basketball program. The reason you go get Will Wade and bring him back is not because he's the greatest basketball mind in the sport and he's going to be the second coming of Greg Popovich. You go get Will Wade because of exactly what you witnessed in that press conference yesterday. The excitement he instills and brings in this program cannot be understated. To win in this sport today, to win in college athletics today, you have to be able to get talented players. Talented players have always been the way you win, is because if you have the talent, you will win. Well, now talent relies a lot on a paycheck and the ability to spend resources to get the players. You have to pay for play. That's the sport. That's college sports. And for LSU to have the ability and the willingness to have resources invested, there has to be some sense of excitement and a created buy-in. And what you witnessed for however long that press conference was yesterday, the reason why the buy-in is raised when Will Wade is around. He instills a level of confidence in you as a fan, as a supporter, or as a booster with the things he says, the passion at which he speaks with, and the conviction he has that he's going to get this job done. One of my key takeaways listening to him speak yesterday was Will Wade. He said it himself. He said, LSU's not for everybody, I'm not for everybody. But LSU's for me, and I'm for LSU. He is the embodiment of what this program is supposed to be. If you think about his coaching timeline, he's been plenty of places, been the head coach at multiple different places. His first big-time job was LSU. He got to spend, 5 years here as the guy. He learned the ins and the outs of the sport and how to run the program and all of those things as the LSU head basketball coach. He is so very much intertwined with this state, this city, and this program. He's the embodiment of it. I listened to him speak yesterday, and if even when you go and you listen to him speak, even at some of the other stops he's been at, he is so very Louisiana and LSU coded in the way he speaks. And I texted Lloyd yesterday as Will Wade was speaking. I said, he has got us and everyone in here in the palm of his hand, because he knows exactly who he's speaking to. And at the same time, the reason he knows it so well is because he's part of it. He loves this program. He loves this state. He loves Baton Rouge. He loves LSU. And it's why he's back. More than anything else, people have said a lot of things about, well, it's because of NIL resources that they're going to commit and how much better it is at LSU than it is at NC State and all of these things. The reason he's back is because this is home. These 3 letters are home to him. And I don't know how you listened to that press conference yesterday and hear anything different.
Belief in me and the belief in me that this is the right time to come home will never be forgotten. And make no mistake, this is home. I wasn't born in Louisiana, but Louisiana's home for me, and me and my family. And so, we're coming back to make history. We're going to make history one way or the other. We're coming back, like Dr. Ruth said, to try to hang a banner, win a national championship, or I'm going to be the first coach fired from the same school twice. But one way or another, we're going to make history. And it's going to be a fun ride, one way or the other. Ain't no doubt about that. But we're very, very excited to be back. And look, these last 4 years, you're not getting the same coach you had 4 years ago. These last 4 years have humbled and changed me. You're getting a better coach, a better leader this time around. Now, I got the same urgency, I got the same fight, same feisty guy that you always know, but we're going to be better. And I want everybody to know with LSU basketball, like, our time is now with LSU basketball. I didn't come here to reflect and talk about the past and any of that stuff. I came here to win, and we're going to win immediately. LSU and Louisiana deserves a winner, and that's what we're going to deliver, and we're going to deliver that in short order. Listen, everybody has this notion, like, LSU basketball is not meant to be average, mediocre, or pretty good. You can throw that stuff out. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. This program's meant to be great. This program's meant to compete at the highest levels of college basketball, night in and night out. As we say down here, it just means more. And that highly competitive winning program, I know what that program looks like. I've seen it, I lived it, and I know how to build it the right way. We're going to be rooted in aggression. We're going to be rooted in toughness. We're going to be rooted in discipline. And we're going to recruit competitors that want to play that way. We're going to recruit competitors that understand what it means to put those 3 letters across your chest every day. You won't find anybody that's more proud to wear that LSU and State of Louisiana than this guy right here. And we're going to find 15 players that are willing to lay it on the line for us every night. Belief in me and the belief in me that this is the right.
I mean, there it is right there. That quote, that section of his opening statement is all you need to hear. I mean, that we're wrapped around his pinky finger. But that's because he knows who he's talking to, and he is LSU. I mean, there's not another job for him to be at in the country. That was when I sat and I saw him on the stage behind the podium, wearing the little lapel pin that had the state on it, and seeing the LSU behind him and the whole thing, standing in the PMAC and seeing Will Wade out there was right. Like, I don't know how else to really say it. It was just right. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. And I thought you heard it in multiple different segments of that answer, that quote right there, where he talks about winning and how important winning is. There's no year zero. There's not a day or a time to grow and learn and figure it out. No, that's not why you bring Will Wade back. You don't bring Will Wade back for a building year or this year's year zero. It doesn't really count. Just like I've said many times, it eerily resembles football. There was no year zero for Lane Kiffin when there really could have been. There was all these factors, and you had to overturn all this and overhaul and blah, 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 blah. Year zero, this first year don't put too much stock into it. We're building something. No, that's not why you buy out Brian Kelly and go get Lane Kiffin. You don't do that for a year zero. You do that for Sam Levitt, Jordan Seaton, go down the list of all these players to compete in 2026. Well, on the Will Wade front, you don't bring Will Wade back to LSU after you fired him 5 years ago and expect, there's going to be some growing pains, we'll figure this out. No. He's got the formula, he's done it before, and he's coming back to do it again and do it again early, fast, quick. And by that, it means, he said win immediately. He also showed how much he knows this state and how well he is ingratiated into it with the joke. I mean, he goes, we're going to make history here at LSU. Whether it's our
One way or
plan,
another.
which is to hang a banner in Baton Rouge, or to be the first coach to get fired from the same place twice. Which is history either way. I mean, he's not wrong. Obviously, you would prefer it to go one way rather than the other, and I believe it's more than likely going to go one way rather than the other. I believe that they have a much better chance at being very, very successful rather than making the mistake they did last time. I mean, let's not get it wrong here. It was a mistake to get rid of him the last time.
And it would have been a mistake not to bring him back.
I completely agree. That was my takeaway. Looking at him on that stage was this is what it's supposed to be. It's right. Will Wade is the LSU head basketball coach. When I saw Will Wade at the Pelicans game the other night with the quarter zip on, it looks right. That's what it's supposed to be. I remember when I went to Lake Charles for a class project to interview Will Wade before his first season at McNeese. It just didn't look right. And that's no disrespect to McNeese. What he did there was awesome. And I loved that he was back in the state. And he was 2 hours away. And I could go watch practice and the whole deal. But I'm supposed to be in the purple and gold at the PMAC. And it was nice to see that back yesterday as Will Wade spoke to the public for the first time. And speaking of McNeese and his time there and what he's learned, and obviously there are a lot of McNeese flavors now as Will Wade has returned. This is clip 7, Lloyd. He spoke about it yesterday, what he learned at McNeese, his time at McNeese, and kind of the copy and paste, or I guess the cut and paste you've seen from McNeese to LSU. The alignment that they had in Lake Charles at McNeese, Roos, Schroyer, Wade, has been cut and pasted in Baton Rouge. As now Wade Roos is the president of LSU. Heath Schroyer is senior deputy athletic director. And Will Wade is back as the head basketball coach. This is him talking about that alignment in Lake Charles now being in Baton Rouge.
I mean, a lot of it. I mean, look, we had incredible alignment. The way I look at this is what we had at McNeese, we did it on a regional scale. We can take that same formula with more resources and more support, just because of the financial aspect of it all, and we can take that formula that made McNeese a regional power and won a first-round NCAA tournament game, and we can take that and move that to LSU, and we can make us a national force. And I have deep belief in that, and that's the reason I'm here. We didn't come here, like I said, this isn't about nostalgia. This is a great fit. This is the best university for me to coach at. I believe I'm the best coach for this university in men's basketball, and we're going to go test that theory, and we're going to prove ourselves right.
And as much as it may be nostalgic and quite the moment to see him back in those two colors with those 3 letters across his chest, he said it right there. This isn't about nostalgia. This isn't about just coming back to LSU and hanging out with old buddies and old friends. Now, is it going to be nice to have your friends and those people you love around you? 100%. This is about coming back and finishing what you started. And like I said, there are so many parallels to football, it's unbelievable. When you think of the Lane Kiffin to LSU deal and the way Nick Saban played a part in it, what was one of the lines we used was, hey, Lane, go finish what Nick started. At LSU, Nick built it, he created it, and did Will Wade build LSU basketball? No. I mean, when Dale Brown was here, it was extremely successful. John Brady made a Final Four, the whole thing. But it had been quiet and dormant for a while until Will got here and won an SEC championship in 2019 and then made the Sweet 16 and made the tournament every single year. And so he started something, and he said during the presser yesterday, he felt like when it came to an end, they were just getting that thing rolling. And so now it's, like we said with football, now it's, hey, come finish what you started. There's unfinished business in Baton Rouge, and it's to bring a winner back and to be successful.
Consistently successful.
Not just one year where, like, hey, figure it out. No. It's a winner. LSU is supposed to be a winner. And under Will, from 2017 to 2022, they won. You had your first year of NIT basketball.
And he made that exciting.
And then you make the tournament every single year. You make a Sweet 16. You put together top recruiting class after top recruiting class. And, now the transfer portal's a thing. Guess what? Top portal classes. Tari Eason, Xavier Pinson, Adam Miller. While recruiting top talent. McDonald's All-Americans. LSU's bringing in one-and-dones. You turn on NBA basketball, you see LSU players. Cam Thomas, Naz Reid, Tari Eason. Some of the questions are similar to what Will talked about in that quote we just played, talking about that formula from McNeese coming over to LSU. A lot of people have had questions. Who reports to who? How does this work? There's been a lot made of the Verge, Will, Schroyer, the whole thing. And they were asked yesterday. Jacques Doucet did a great job asking the question, putting it out on his Twitter, of Heath and Verge talking about who reports to who. How does this dynamic work? And here they are answering those questions.
Yes, he reports to Heath Schroyer, he's report to me. And that's how we do it. He's a sports administrator like he's at everywhere else. No different from Dan Gaston, who has baseball here. Julie Cromer has football. She's a sports administrator, so that's how it works. Baseball is Dan Gaston. And Zach Greenwell will be raising the NIL portion of baseball. Mm-hmm.
So your main focus will be football?
Everything really, but football is, hey look, Jock, I tell everybody, at LSU, football has to win. Football pays 98% of the bills around here. So yes, Julie be managing football, that's her area. I'll be overseeing, my job is to generate revenue for the whole department and make sure this department is in alignment with the president's office, the board, and everything else, and that we win at every sport. I'm just concerned about softball, track and field, tennis, volleyball. You see me at every event. I want every sport here and every coach here to be successful.
Are the sports so big now that it's impossible for one person to be the AD?
Yeah, I think that, Verge said it best. I mean, college athletics in today's world it's way different than it was, even 3-4 years ago. So I think that, we're moving to a modern model, if you will. And again, I'm happy to be on the team and excited to be here.
The world of athletics is changing. I mean, I think that's kind of what you can learn from that, is that it would be a lot to handle if it's just a one-man wrecking crew trying to handle football, basketball, baseball, softball, women's basketball, the whole thing. I mean, if that all fell under one person's control, and it would be very, very difficult. And I think what you learn from that is that Heath Schroyer obviously is going to be very, very hands-on with this basketball program and the direction it goes. So there's some of the answers there. Credit to Jacques for asking the question and getting some of the clarity there on that situation. But, man, it was an awesome day yesterday. To be in the PMAC and see it, I just don't think there's anything you can say other than LSU basketball's back. I mean, the excitement, the buzz, the whole thing was a breath of fresh air. I mean, I think for everyone involved, it was as reassuring as a press conference could be. And I think when you look at the current state of LSU athletics, and luckily, it's kind of crazy, right? We start Tingle & Co., last June was the first day, and now have gotten to witness two massive coaching hires in the same offseason at LSU. But you think about what that means and where this university stands. I mean, we talked about it a little bit yesterday as a team after we left the presser. You've gotten to sit and witness two introductory press conferences for the two moneymakers on campus with football and men's basketball, with Lane Kiffin and Will Wade, and are both very, very different, right? If you go back and you watch the Lane Kiffin introductory press conference, it's very different from what you listened to yesterday, but they both crushed it. I mean, both are so reassuring and confidence-inducing in what the product they're going to put out there is. And one of the biggest parts that was the most glaring similarity was when Lane Kiffin stood on that podium in South Stadium Club and said, hey, when January 2nd gets here, just be ready. I wish I could get on the phone right now and talk to portal players and recruit and get them here to Baton Rouge. I can't wait. And then you saw what happened when it did open. He put together a historic class with 40 players, number one by a long shot, the number one quarterback, the number 6 quarterback, the top FCS quarterback, the number one offensive lineman, the number one defensive lineman, the number one safety, a top 5 wide receiver. I mean, go down the list of what they did in the portal. The number one linebacker. The retained top talent. I mean, Lane Kiffin looked at you in that press conference and said, hey, I cannot wait to get on the phone and recruit for LSU in the transfer portal. And then you fast forward a month and they dominated it. Well, yesterday, Will Wade said it himself. And on Monday, when this transfer portal opens, they're going to get players that are ready to compete, that are trying to put on and leave it all out there for LSU basketball. Darius Days spoke about it last Friday. He said Will Wade called it, what did he call it? The Coliseum, right? It was like Gladiator at practice. I'm going to throw all of you in there to battle it out, and the last one standing are the ones that I know are going to go on that court and die to win. And so there's some glaring similarities to the answers or the direction LSU is heading, and it's 2 head coaches that they've added in the last couple of months that are very, very well ingratiated in the new era of college sports. And you've got to witness one of them already put in the work and create a competitor, a contender over the offseason, win the offseason. Lane Kiffin said it many times. They won the offseason. And for Will Wade, I mean, they're about to get right to it. The portal opens next week. And John Rothstein said it last week when we played the clip. Be prepared to see LSU's name in the mix for all of the top players. And I'll give Matt McMahon and LSU credit. Last offseason, they did a much better job at being competitive in the recruiting aspect, in the transfer portal of bringing in talent. I mean, they beat out top programs for DJ Thomas, Markel Sutton, to go get those top players. But I've witnessed what Will Wade's done in the portal when he was at LSU the last time. I mean, I remember when Adam Miller was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year or something of the sort and hits the portal, and it was like, well, where's he going? Illinois was just really, really good. He's going to Baton Rouge to play for Will Wade. As is Tari Eason, who's 6th man of the year in the Big 12. And a starting SEC point guard in Xavier Pinson, headed from Missouri over to LSU. Like he said, there's no year zero. It's time to win. It's time to win now. He didn't come here to play games or to just feel happy he gets to put the colors back. And well, no, he came here to win, to do what he felt like he should have done the first time.
And as he said, there's just nothing like LSU.
Save the best for last. There is a part of me that feels that way. I've never connected with a fan base and with people like I have with LSU in Louisiana. And I feel like we left the book open a little bit. We left some chapters out there, and we left some chapters unfinished. And to have the opportunity to come back and finish that off, and to bring pride and joy to people that I care about, and people that mean a lot to me. I feel a heavy burden towards that, and that's a big reason I came back. I mean, look, you can look at the records, and this is I'm going to say something that I've only told to my wife and some close personal friends, because they've all asked the same question. All you're thinking, like, what in the world are we doing? But you can win a lot of places. You can win a lot of places, and we can win a lot of games a lot of places. We can take our program and move it a bunch of places, and we'll be able to win games. But there's nothing like the meaning of winning with your friends and meaning when you feel like you're playing for a bigger power, for lack of a better term, and you have more purpose to you. You have a bigger purpose. And a lot of my best friends are sitting in this room right now. A lot of my best friends are down here in Louisiana, and I feel like that we have a greater purpose with this program than anywhere that I've ever been. And at the end of the day, that's why I came back. I came back to give back to LSU and to hopefully put some joy and to put some fun back into basketball, where we're not just a stopgap between football and spring football and baseball, and to make sure that we build a program that's excellent, just like everything else. I mean, Coach Johnson's got an excellent program, Coach Mulkey's got an excellent program, Coach Kiffin's got a great program, Coach Clark won the national championship. I mean, my daughter still watches every LSU gymnastics meet, every single one of them she watches. And so, just to Coach Tarina's a good friend, like just to build a program that's worthy of the investment and worthy of all the folks here. So I'm excited to be back and excited to represent LSU in Louisiana again.
That man loves this place. He's happy to be home. And home is happy to have him back, man. It's going to be, if yesterday was any indication, game number 1 in the PMAC is going to be packed. I mean, yesterday it was noon. I know a lot of people have made it, and by a lot of people, I mean NC State fans have made a lot of some of the clips where you can see some empty stands. Well, first off, it was noon on a Monday. Second, no, they weren't putting people over there. Everyone wanted to stay where they could see the podium. You don't want to sit behind the banner. I digress. The excitement in that building yesterday only instills more excitement for what next basketball season is going to have in store. I mean, I don't know how you could look at that presser, the crowd, the students, the whole thing. I mean, him walking out to the drums, the General Mike outfit, the T-shirts. I asked some of the people around LSU, I said, were those T-shirts just in the closet, or were we, did we have to make new ones, or were those just maybe left over from the last time? They weren't left over, but the print, the actual design, was still, in the office. They had to reorder some shirts. That place is going to be back to what it is supposed to be. And I think similar to how it played out with football, when you see what they do in this transfer portal window and the level of talent they bring in, you're going to get that much more excited because you're going to see a competitor, which is something LSU hasn't been. More than anything, what LSU needed to get back to being was a competitor. Can you compete in the SEC? Not just be around and a part of it and be in games. No, you got to be able to win them. Can you compete in one of the best conferences in the sport? And that's what he's back to do.
Oh, and that's why NC State was a little salty. And he did get it. It was, I believe, Lloyd Brown that covers LSU basketball, kind of held Will's feet to the fire a little bit about the NC State and how he left, and he had a good answer for it because I don't think he was blindsided by it by any means. But
he knew that question was coming.
Yeah, and it's well within his right to ask because if you're an NC State fan, you probably want to know why and how his perception of himself was for leaving NC State the way he did and leaving and going to LSU, a place he had been before. But there's levels to this, and I think that's what people need to realize, certainly if you're NC State, where it's just – if Louisiana gets you,
you're cooked.
You're cooked. And Lloyd got in the best way possible.
Well, I long ago quit worrying about my perception. So that part doesn't bother me too much. Look, here's what I'm going to say. I'd like to focus more on what's going on at LSU. NC State was great to me. I think some of the things have been mischaracterized on how I left, but I'm not going to get into I learned long ago, I'm not going to get into a back and forth on all of that. The people who need to know. And look, everybody has to, when there's a situation like this, everybody has to cover for has to cover. Let's put it that way. And so I'm not. I'm at peace with how I left. I'm at peace with what we did. And look, I mean, they're pretty mad for a coach they didn't think was very good. So, I don't. That's the way it goes. But look, I wish NC State nothing but the best. I built some great relationships there. I had a very good relationship with Boo Corrigan, the AD, and I understand they've hired Justin Gainey, a former player, and I hope they do great and wish them nothing but success.
Good answer. I mean, he, like I said, he knows who he's speaking to, and we also know who Will Wade is. I mean, when the jab is right there to be made, I mean, sometimes it can be hard to resist.
I don't want to get into a back and forth about this. I learned a long time ago. Well, guess they don't like me. Thought I was a bad coach.
Yep, but
they're awful bad for firing somebody or somebody leaving that they didn't think was any good. I'll just leave it at that. I don't like to get in the back and forth. But here I go.
And hey, congratulations to NC State for finding their new head coach. They hired Justin Gainey, and this, that, or the other. Look, I think Will Wade crushed it yesterday. He's not worried about the perception, and ultimately, the perception is what's gotten me the most excited out of the whole thing. LSU is now fully and officially bought in on the villain arc of LSU athletics. Kim Mulkey and LSU women's basketball was kind of the first ushering in of it, where they are the villains of the sport. The Angel Reese ring deal against Iowa and the whole conversation around all of that, they were the villain. Now LSU football goes and plucks Lane Kiffin out of the hands of Ole Miss and puts together an elite offseason where they bring in all the top talent out of the transfer portal. I mean, I remember seeing Jordan Seaton and Sam Levitt were both in attendance at Gloves for Gleason the other night, and that, as well as seeing them on the practice field and going like, wow, no, they're really here. Mm-hmm. It actually happened. Seaton, I think, was the more surprising one because I just remember we got to that point. It was like, do they even have the money to – yeah, because there he is right there in front of you, right?
You're actually not even going to take a trip to Oregon.
And so they're the bad boys there with football. They're the villains in football and women's basketball, and now going all in on it with LSU men's basketball. You are the villain now.
Is it the people you've brought in as much as it is the way that you got them here?
It's both. Mm-hmm. It is the people, obviously. Kim Mulkey rubs people the wrong way. Lane Kiffin rubs people the wrong way. Will Wade rubs people the wrong way. The people play a factor. But it's also the manner in which all these things have happened.
I'll be having that.
Especially the last two where it's like, nope, thank you for your coach, Ole Miss. Oh, Raleigh, we're going to snag your coach and bring him back with us. Like, you're coming home with me. So it's the manner in which it's happened as well. I mean, they're all in on being the villain, and that's the perception. The perception is the villain, and it's got me fired up, man. I mean, I can't wait to get to be. I mean, you wore the shirt yesterday, the bad boys of Louisiana, right? I mean, that's football and men's basketball. And look, Jay Johnson got in the mix on Sunday. You tell me that's not a bad boy?
Bad boy.
I'm right here, cuz. Come and get some.
I'll fuck you up.
Take this out to the tarmac. I mean, like it.
But I always say that because the perception of LSU and from the reaction of Ole Miss, which was, I guess, expected in a way because of the perceived clout that they thought they had just as a university. And it was like, it's actually just one guy and he's gone. And they had a tough time dealing with that. From North Carolina State's perspective, they are a better basketball program. They are better in every which way that you can talk about basketball. And then to still lose your coach, which you thought you made a Grand Slam home run hire.
Yep.
Right? Like you went and got Will Wade after what he did at LSU. Like you were kind of dancing in the dark a little bit when you go get somebody that has the perception that Will Wade does of, oh, he's the nastiest man in college basketball. He's a cheat. He pays for players. He did it the wrong way. And he was on a list of people that were titans in the industry, and it's like, oh, but we'll just point at him because he hasn't done it long enough. And Will Wade elbowed his way to the table, with a bunch of blue bloods, and they said, get him out of the party. He's ruining it for all of the old folks. And then the old folks started to drop off. Like, Coach K is gone.
Roy Williams
is gone. There's rumors of
Bill Self
gone.
Right.
Like,
Calipari's at Arkansas.
Yeah, he's still doing it. I mean, he's done it. He invented it. Like, as long as basketball is balanced, Calipari's going to pay a player.
And then it's going to be a guard. It's going to be a top 10 pick.
And it works until it doesn't for him. Because he can't coach. But Will Wade, North Carolina State, said, I want that too. I want to be able to be nationally relevant. And boy, are you.
Yeah.
For all the wrong things, because you got your feelings hurt. And it's LSU doing it again, going into somebody's backyard and taking the thing that they wanted the most, that they put time, energy, and effort into. And LSU just has this draw to people where I want to be able to – for Will Wade, it makes the most sense in the world. He's been here, and the way that it ended. And Lane Kiffin, it's like, I built Ole Miss into be this thing that it is, and I don't want to be here anymore if I could go somewhere better. And that's what happened. Ole Miss is still lingering around here, hoping, grasping, waiting for week 3.
Yep.
And then after that, they can go back to the Grove.
Glimmer Fredette said, and Rick Pitino is a vampire. That's true.
It's true.
15 seconds.
Can't get rid of him.
The sun must have been coming up.
Great quote. All the time. Incredible quote. It was a very unfortunate incident. 15 seconds. Love that guy.
But I also think part of it with NC State is if they're actually like sitting back and thinking about it, they're going, wait, there were rumors that the Louisiana governor pushed for this last year and it didn't happen. It was blocked, rejected, however you want to say it. But now it has happened. And so then it goes, we just kind of got lucky. He wanted to be there the whole time anyways. He never really wanted to be. I think that's the part that's probably hurt the most is you sit back and you go,
you got God.
I don't think he ever really wanted to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that's part of it. And from LSU's standpoint, they can feel, NC State can feel however they want to feel. I was surprised how upset they were because, I mean, it was 1 year. You know, like for Ole Miss, I understood why. He had built something there. He'd been there for 7 years. You were finally nationally relevant again. You were on a playoff run. Like in the midst of it. Like I understood why Ole Miss was hurt the way they were.
Well, they got told you're not pretty enough.
Right. Mm-hmm. I was surprised about NC State and how emotional they have been about it.
You're surprised? I'm not surprised at all that
Really?
NC State is because it's like the quintessential like you go to a bar. I'm a good-looking guy, right? I've got a good-looking girlfriend.
Right.
Maybe I like her and want her to stay around. Maybe I'm ready to break up with her. Whatever.
But you chose that one.
And then some fucking Gorlock comes and steals her away from me. Well, now we have to fight. Like, regardless of how much I liked her or didn't like her, this dude just fucking mogged me. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't, like, you're worse than me. Yeah. 'Cause that's the thing that I don't understand is we are a worse basketball program, and we just bitch slapped you. And we're worse than you. So, yeah, like, man to man, I have testosterone. I'm going to be fucking angry. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
But realistically, we're not that ugly compared to NC State, though. We're not.
Well, no, but it's just it's like
an 8.
But when you go
7.
back and look, like for this analogy, she's like, we have history. And you're like, with that,
yeah.
He's like, oh, you should have seen when we were together though. He looked way different. Like I can put him back together.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Like we just make sense together, and you're just like,
for some reason, when I'm not with him, he doesn't
I-
hit the gym. But whenever I'm with him, he's just in the gym all the time.
right? Like I make his life better, and he makes my life better. You just can't compete with this. It's like that. Just something about him.
Yeah, this
just
is
different.
usually not on him. When
Right.
I'm with him.
Why are you here? And he needs me back.
And it's back. Look, it's LSU basketball so
Look,
back.
buddy, this isn't year 0. It starts tomorrow.
Yeah, we're good.
6 a.m.
But the workout regimen is
yo-yo.
beginning.
Yeah.
And so LSU's got their new guy. They've got their head basketball coach, Will Wade. And we've got a new sponsor for you this month. We are brought to you by our friends over at ZipRecruiter. So speaking of the new LSU basketball hire, head over to ZipRecruiter. Because look, I mean, LSU identified someone that was qualified, genuinely interested, and knew he wanted to be at LSU, and they go out there and they make the hire. And Will Wade's conviction and excitement, you saw it yesterday. That's why you make the hire. And if you're hiring and you want a candidate who's passionate about their role or the role you have for them, but you can't get that insight from their resume, make sure you post about it on ZipRecruiter. because the resume won't give you the same amount of insight as it will when you put your job on ZipRecruiter, and you can try it for free now at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. You see it right there at the bottom, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter's powerful
right that was
matching,
my 9 o'clock alarm.
Their powerful matching technology finds qualified candidates quickly, and ZipRecruiter has a new feature that shows you the most interested qualified candidates first, so you meet the right people faster. Find candidates who really want your job on ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter, the same way LSU's met their match for the second time for LSU men's basketball with Will Wade. We will take a quick break here and come right back with more Tingle & Co. right after this.
Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
welcome back. Here as we open up hour number 2. You saw that saw the video we just played right there for you. Some of the D-line getting after it. A handful of the guys you saw in that video. Number 99, Deuce Gerald. We'll talk about him in just a second. 91, Trenton Henderson. But you saw number 19 in that video, and that we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday as we spent a lot of conversation about baseball. But you see number 19 right there. That is Gabriel Relaford. And sadly, at practice on Thursday, Gabriel Relaford tore his ACL last week. So obviously he will be out for the remainder of spring into fall. We'll see how long this recovery process takes and or how they decide to handle it. It very easily could be, hey, not going to rush back or try to get anything right for this year and push it for another year. Or if LSU's a contender, they could get him back on track. The rehab process goes extremely well, and him be back for a push in November into December for the playoff. We'll obviously know we won't see how it goes. The more important thing is that our prayers are up for Gabe. I mean, it's got to be tough, man. Coming off of the rotator cuff injury where he misses last year, where he was playing extremely well, into coming back from that injury, getting back out there this season in this Blake Baker defense. The expectations were high, and now the 2026 season obviously up in the air as he tears his ACL. So our prayers are with Gabe as he recovers because that's tough, man. Gabe Relaford, obviously, someone we are very high on. Lloyd, you've talked about it ad nauseum.
That sucks.
Your expectations for him.
Not this.
And it's to be on the field dominating. And he obviously, back-to-back tough injuries he's had. He had the shoulder injury last year, now his knee, his ACL. And so prayers for Gabe as he can hopefully recover. And I know when he'll be back better than ever. So, unfortunate there. And it does bring in some questions. You know, Lane talked about it in his presser last week, and I'm sure he'll be asked about it today in the press conference of depth. That was a key word that was brought up in the first presser he had last week, was when you talk about the portal era and the new era of college football, it's, okay, you can get top-end talent. It might be easier to fill out top spots, but you lose depth because guys that are the second best on your team or the third best on your team go to be the first best somewhere else. Like if you're the second best at LSU, why not go be the first best at Kentucky? You know, like that's what the portal creates, and that's a good thing. But for teams like LSU, you're not able to have the same level of depth that you used to have, where a guy like Devin White didn't play as a freshman because you had guys in front of him, right? That you have all these countless situations where these younger guys develop and earn their spot as they – I mean, like in the transport, you're telling me Daniil Hunter would have stuck it through at LSU and not got the PT that he got, right? And he could have done it somewhere else, you know? And so you lose your second best, your depth, to go be starters elsewhere. And so now when you have an injury like this, now you look at the D-end room and you go, okay, wait. Now we have to reevaluate what the depth of that position looks like. Obviously, Ross and Uman Mielen have been the guy at the ones. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup, the first-team defense from Saturday. It was 29-1 on the edge, right? It was Jordan Ross and it was Prince Uman Mielen on each side. But now your guy right behind them is hurt, is out. And that's Gabe Relaford. So it brings into question, okay, what are you going to do at defensive end now? You've got Dylan Carpenter, you've got Kalaj Cobbins, Trenton Henderson, Damian Shanklin, I think, is a name, obviously, that will come up a good bit. He was back out on the field. I think Lamar Brown will be interesting, how he maybe splits out wide.
Jaylen Brown.
Right?
So for as much as people or even Lane was saying like lack of depth, they went and got players that you can almost like the way it was going to be built with Gabe Relaford in the mix is almost like the hockey shift where you could bring in a fresh 2 D linemen at a time whenever you're running in on a third down package or whatever you wanted to do, the way you can mix and match with the Blake Baker defense to be able to utilize all of this talent that you have. And this like, make no bones about it, this is a loss.
Yes.
Gabe Relaford at some point, and it always seems to happen to, I don't know, maybe it's just me thinking of like Louisiana guys that it happens to the most, where it's an injury, and then they bounce back and you get to see him. It's like, oh, I didn't expect Gabe Relaford to be here for 5 years, but now that he is, like there's only one way that happens, and it's injury. But
Right.
they usually bounce back and have career years at some point and then go to the league.
Yep.
Rutherford is going to make an impact whenever he can be healthy. But that's just unfortunate for a guy that has so much potential, so much ability to continue to be bitten by the injury bug, because it's just unfortunate for some that it happens.
Yeah. And I think this position group is an interesting one. It's one we've talked a lot about. Like, I think when you look back at the playoff last year or even the Super Bowl, the teams that made it the farthest and played the best were the ones that were best where?
Up front.
In the trenches, right? I mean, the Seahawks dominated the Patriots in the trenches with their defensive front. I mean, that was the separating factor in the Super Bowl was they kept getting to Drake May. You look at Miami as they made their run to the national championship game. Where were they the best?
D-line.
Their defensive line. I mean, they got after the quarterback. They got pushed. That's where they separated themselves against teams like Ole Miss as they made the run to the playoff. Indiana, really good on their defensive front. Georgia on their run. Oh, I'm going to sub out Jordan Davis and put in Jalen Carter, right? I mean, it's the same thing that Alabama used to do with Jonathan Allen and Quinnen Williams, right? I mean, the best teams were the ones that dominated defensively up front. And that's where you saw LSU really go after to do that. And this is going to be a loss. And it's going to be interesting also at the interior of the defensive line. They've really only mixed 3 guys in with the ones, because we've seen at the start of practice they do some 11-on-11 stuff, and so you're able to see who the first group is. Obviously, don't put too much stock into it in spring, but they've really only mixed 3 guys in with the ones, and you can see one of them in that video that we just played of the defensive line. It's number 99, Deuce Gerald's. The other 2 are number 47, Malik Blockton, the transfer from Auburn, and number 94, Richard Anderson, another freshman. I mean, we talked a lot about this freshman class when it comes to the defensive line, and you're seeing it come to fruition as they're going to play, right? I mean, number 94, Richard Anderson, 99, Deuce Gerald's, and then 47, Malik Blockton are the 3 that they've mixed in with the ones. And obviously they have Dominic McKinley. They've got other pieces. With Stefillian Green hasn't been out there. Once he gets out there, how much difference is it? He's the transfer from Clemson. But, I mean, it's hard to look at it right now in spring and not go, those freshmen are going to make an impact, because right now they're getting the reps. They're out there working, Deuce Gerald's and Richard Anderson, and I've been extremely excited for them to get to campus and get to work, and that they were early enrollees. Then you're seeing it come to fruition. And that defensive front is one of the most intriguing aspects of this offseason into next season for me, because the best teams are the ones that are elite there. And LSU's recruiting it at a high level. There's going to be a lot of pressure on freshmen to get out there and make it happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, Deuce Gerald, Richard Anderson are 2 of 3 that are getting the reps there right now, and then an SEC transfer. In addition to where you're at on the edge, I mean, the starting defense, I'll say what it was on Saturday. The ones were the defensive front from left or at the edge positions. You had Jordan Ross and Uman Mielen. On the interior, Deuce Gerald and Malik Blockton. At linebacker, Daughtery and Keys. With Whit Weeks obviously still not practicing. At star, it was Deshaun Spears. Safeties were Cooley and Benefield. And then obviously at corner, PJ and DJ with Woodland and Pickett. So I don't think any surprises there other than really the interior of the defensive line potentially. I think Stefillian Green, when he comes back, when he gets in the mix, he's going to be he's going to play a bunch for you. But if those freshmen step up and answer the call, I mean, you're not going to stop them. Mm-hmm. Like if Deuce Gerald and Richard Anderson are just
if they're the better players,
really good, they're going to play.
And I expect Big Dick Anderson to play. You don't just go get him and do all of the battles that you did for. Like that was the biggest talking point whenever Lane Kiffin was being brought in was, well, look who's at your front door whenever you get there. It's Lamar Brown, it's Richard Anderson, and then it became, wait, I don't know if we're going to sign right now. And then it became, yeah, you are.
No, you better get here.
Like you better, like this era, if you want to start it off the right way, don't lose the 2 guys from Louisiana that are the biggest impact players.
Yeah.
You can sign on the defensive front. You get both. Mm-hmm. And Richard Anderson, from everything he did in high school and how he looks the part and he plays the part. And it's not, I think it's this big ask to see Richard Anderson play meaningful snaps early, because now it feels like he might have to. But on the other side of it, you finally have a defensive line coach that feels like he's here for the long haul. He put up top 20 units with Texas A&M. He was able to go recruit it as well, but it's also something that's going to be here for more than a year, you would expect.
It was South Carolina.
So he went to, he was at A&M and then South Carolina,
Sterling Lucas?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it feels like you finally, it's not going to be the revolving door it's been for the last decade? Has it been? Like a 10-year span of just revolving door of defensive line coaches, and you're having to bring Pete Jenkins in mid-season to hopefully figure something out?
Well, hopefully, but the portal's a thing, so.
No, it is.
No guarantees.
It is. And we'll see what it looks like with the freshmen. I'm excited to see how much it continues. And I think when Lamar Brown gets here, that also will be an interesting piece during fall camp, because he can go interior or outside on the defensive line. So, Chrissy, when you get out there today, make sure you keep an eye on the defensive line when they first do the first 11 on 11s. Maybe get some video of them when they go to individual workouts too.
I think I'm gonna skip on the running backs today. I think we've got
enough of
worth of running backs. So.
Well, they just put them right in your face.
They do.
No, it's right there. It's hard not to be like, oh.
Well, and Kevin Smith
is a walking soundbite.
Loud and awesome.
That's why I don't want to miss that either.
Of course.
I
trust Noah meets one coach, and he's just loud and awesome and cool.
Oh, no, he is. I mean,
he walked in here and Coach Kevin Smith was in here. Noah goes next head coach.
won me over.
Oh, what happened to Frank was not old news.
Nah, this one will do. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be also, make sure you get some video of the defensive line when you get out there today, Christian. I will also read through the first team offense. This one is pretty cut and dry. There are no changes here. Obviously, with Levitt not getting involved in 11 on 11s, the first team starting quarterback was Landon Clark. But the line from left to right, Seaton, Harper, Moore, Ba, Davis, 77, 70, 61, 55, 75. Running back in the backfield with Landon Clark is Harlan Berry. Wide receivers were Jace Brown, Winnie Watkins, and Jackson Harris. So 3 transfers there, obviously. And then, of course, at tight end, number 14, Trades Green. And my favorite thing about that is they keep him off the line. Me and Blake Ruffino talked about that after the first practice. We were walking to the room for Lane's press conference, was how awesome it was to see Trades Green split off the line and not be asked to inline block. But a couple more videos that I threw into the document from a football standpoint, just for us to get a look at. This one is of number 4, Jackson Harris, obviously the Hawaii transfer, who I just listed as one of the starters there with the first group, and freshman Aiden Hall, who's been in the mix with the Stars. Obviously, he was a safety out of Edna Carr, but you can get a look at them here in this clip that LSU Football put out via their Twitter. It's Huson Longstreet throwing. You can actually get a good look at his throwing motion that I brought up after the first practice, where it's a little bit of a longer delivery, but it comes out at like three quarters. It is interesting. You'll get a look at it here, and then you'll see a great play by Aiden Hall on the football, who does not look like a regular freshman, and then a great job by Jackson Harris staying alive, bringing it down. But Aiden Hall, number 25, the freshman out of Edna Carr, was really the main kind of eye-opener. I mean, that's not a regular 18-year-old freshman, which, let's be real, most of the guys that put on the Carr uniform are not your normal football player. They're like created players. But Aiden Hall is impressive. I'll pull up his measurables right now on the sheet. Let's see, number 25, Aiden Hall, is 6'2", 193.
18.
At 18 years old. And
nice.
Look at him in the video. I mean, that is a put-together young man. Go up and make a play on the football. Great job by him getting a hand on it. Obviously, a great job by Jackson Harris to bring it down with the one hand. Ain't no regular freshman in Aiden Hall. So it's going to be exciting to see how much these freshmen get into the mix, because they are not
normal
at all. But speaking of getting into the mix, the next clip I put in there is one I think might be Wyatt's favorite player that they've added this offseason. And Lane Kiffin talked about him as well. He listed 3 ultra elite players. This guy is one of them, and this clip is part of it. Because if you really just want to get a look, we talk about measurables, we talk about when you look at a player and go, okay, he looks like he's probably going to be pretty good just from the aesthetics side of it. Here's Longstreet throwing it again. And this is Winnie Watkins at receiver, and Ty Benefield looking like a monster draped around. I mean, that coach.
That's an NFL player.
That's an LSU DB if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. We got to get a new face mask on him.
I know you don't like the face mask.
The quarterback face mask doesn't look good, but
so we can
looks
see.
great as a player.
But I mean, this is
for the vision.
I mean, textbook. But look
catch
at
it. Catch it.
Look at the arms. The length, the lankiness of Ty Benefield.
Well, it's funny because after you hit with Halsey in the portal, obviously another guy that was built differently.
Right.
Like 2 different styles of player.
Very different.
But also will both get the job done in different ways. Like Halsey was a tank, but was like the read-react ability and then would just make your day worse if you were playing football against him. And now Benefield, longer, lankier, but also still has the same instincts.
Right.
And LSU seems to have hit twice in a row.
Yeah, no, he looks, I mean, for Lane to talk about him the way he has, Wyatt, you were a big fan of him when he was first announced, and then obviously now seeing him at spring practice.
He's going to lay the wood, too. I know he's not as, big physically, and buff as Halsey is, but he's going to hit the shit out of you. And
6'3", 208?
Oh, yeah. I was born at 208, but that's how I found out about him was in the NCAA video game. He hits the portal every year. And so year 2 of every rebuild I'm doing, Ty Benefield's my starting fucking safety.
Yeah.
He's always a first-round pick.
6'3", 208's busty, just if he could move and had coordination skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 6'3", 208, I mean, and that was the part that surprised me when I first got there at the first practice. I looked at him and I was like, because I feel like in the pictures from some of the Boise State, you can see he's long and lanky and he's got good, but I was like, okay. But then I walked out there and I was like, okay, timeout. This is a freak.
Oh, it got the finger.
Hey, I got
Landry might have to do that here.
Sending him out
Thomas
to
trying to get
but there he is,
the
right? You can see him right here in the mix. That kid should not be at Boise State. Should be at LSU in the
This is what the
purple and
portal
gold.
is
Told me
for.
to get a tan.
All right.
Oh.
He tanned in his
Go
bag.
get some good video. But there's Ty Benefield. You can see some of the clips from Boise State as he's now where he rightfully belongs at DBU as a Tiger. So, but like we said,
do your best.
Yeah, get some good video, Christian. Yesterday was a very, very exciting day as LSU announced their new head basketball coach. We talked a little bit about that earlier this morning. It was an awesome day in the PMAC. You can see some of the pictures there. And Will talked about some of his favorite people and best friends being in that building. And I think they might be in this building right now.
I don't know about all of that. I don't know about all of that.
But what was your takeaways from yesterday?
Oh, it was amazing. He played. He was very honest. He told me. I think I've even said it in here. He told me the same story he told to the media and everybody yesterday about why did he want to come back. It's a lot more fun winning with family and friends,
right?
Than I'm kind of disappointed in North Carolina State. They're talking about we're going to sue him. He purchased his house. He put an offer in his house. He didn't buy the same house. He didn't buy it. I promise you. It's sold now twice since he's been. People that bought it from him sold it. It wasn't him. He even said it. He goes, I don't want to go live back in that house. I mean, I didn't particularly care for the house when I lived there. I'm going to go back.
Right.
And so look, I get being butthurt, but they're trolling his press conference.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. And it's like, hey, man, you just hired a new coach. Go be happy with him. They say he's a good coach.
He's an alma mater.
Went
to school.
Enjoy it.
That's somebody that you want, right?
Enjoy it. Move on. I think the best thing somebody said on social media, I don't know if it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, I saw it. Will Wade was an employee, and it was a job. Employees leave jobs all the time. I employ 55 people. I get people leaving all the time.
Right.
Some after 3 months, some after 10 years. You just don't know. And so, look, to deal with them, let them have their fun. Eventually you got to get over it.
You would think.
And so yesterday was an amazing day. Great crowd in the PMAC.
Yeah.
They didn't think so.
Who didn't think so?
North Carolina State.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got to be honest with you. Just go quietly, because I could say a lot of nasty things about him, and I'm not. It's just like, go.
Well, it's the flavor of the month, right? Or the year, apparently, for LSU. It's what happened with Lane Kiffin.
And literally, you look through the comments, and you can tell who the North Carolina State fans are because they're bashing him. Oh, look at this piece of shit.
Snake.
Well, I thought snake. Oh, I wait till your snake's going to bite you. Okay, bud. See you later.
And I thought Will's response yesterday, where he was, he gave a very good answer, didn't say anything, and then he was like, well, I mean, they seem a little upset for a coach. They're saying it's not that good.
Yeah, I mean, they were before all of this came about, they were bashing him like, oh, it's just the guy for us. I mean, but then you wanted to keep him.
Well, you just don't want to lose it.
And so, look, it is what it is. He's here. I think he did a great job yesterday with his comments. He said he was going to make history one way or the other. I mean, it was pretty funny. And,
that was my biggest takeaway, was it felt like the energy was back in the PMAC a little bit. Look, I'm not here to bash McMahon. He did a job that was nobody wanted.
Correct.
And he did it the best to his ability. And it, for all intents and purposes, it did feel like a little bit of a rebound for LSU until you could get your girl back. And then that girl, and then it was like, if McMahon, thank you for being a placeholder here, because nobody wanted it. You could have gone very easily into, I don't know, hire internally, and just somebody has to take the job. And he tried to rebuild it and make it the best he could. Yeah, but this was always Will Wade's job if he wanted it, and he did.
Matt it was a great guy, good coach. I just don't think it was the right fit for him. I mean, look, when you take a job, let's take athletics out of it. You take a job and you walk in for the first day and you go, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And you 2 or 3 years down the road and you go, man, this ain't for me. It's kind of how this was. The job either defined you or you define the job. And I think the job defined him a little bit. It's a little bit different. I think college athletics on this level, coming from a mid-major, is a completely different beast. I mean, you're competing for the best talent in the country. I'm not saying mid-majors aren't, but they don't have the budgets that the bigger schools have. And so, I'll tell you this, it was funny because flying up there to get him and flying back, I got to hear a lot of stuff being talked about from him and asked him a bunch of questions. And what I did like to hear is that all these teams that are all these schools that are talking about, man, we're going to spend $20 million on an NIL. Right. That's not true. The NIL budgets are a lot less. I think they're throwing it out, trying to get people to overspend, and that's not true.
Yeah.
I think the other comment I liked from yesterday is I didn't give him a number, and I know that for a fact because he talked to me about it before, right before he took the job, and he said, I don't have a number. My number for NIL is to win. Go get the players and spend what I need to spend to win. Yeah. And so we know he's not afraid to do that. And so, I mean, so I think that was a great comment. I like that comment. And the other thing I liked about it is we're going to do this quickly. We're not going to sit here and take
no year zero.
Mm-hmm. No year zero.
Yeah.
No year zero. I mean, this guy hit the ground running. I mean, he was on the phone coming back on the plane. One of the requirements was that we had Wi-Fi on the plane, and he was literally on the plane on the phone. And it wasn't recruiting. It was just
putting a staff together. It feels like
people talking.
A lot of things to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, and he hit the ground running.
Because I mean, that's the thing. He's. I remember when Lane Kiffin was hired. He gets hired, and then that first Friday signing day. Well, Will Wade officially is now the LSU head basketball coach, and the portal opens next week.
Yeah,
it's going to be straight to work.
Yeah.
And I think what he did yesterday that was so cool was just the confidence he instilled in everybody. You already knew it when you brought him back, but then you listen to him speak, the passion, the conviction that he has, and how much he loves this job. It just instills this level of confidence
and how much he loves the state.
Right.
This is we talked about it coming home. It's not just about LSU. This is about the state of Louisiana. You got to think about it. This guy has had two jobs at two schools here in the state of Louisiana, and he really enjoyed both of them. I mean, his family truly I know he truly loves it. I know his family truly loves it. I mean, look, I saw his when he first came here, his daughter was just first born.
Right.
And so when I get off the plane in North Carolina and I see her, and I'm like, man, you've grown. I've seen videos of her, and I'm like, man, you've grown, enormously. And and so she was happy to come home. I know his wife was happy to come back to Baton Rouge. She has family up there. I think that was a little bittersweet for her, but I think they're going to do well here. I think he's a different person, man. I'll tell you that. He is definitely different. Like when he was here the first time, it was like, and now he's kind of more subdued. He's,
maybe matured a little bit.
He's matured a little bit. I think he knows the task at hand.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, you got a 7-year contract. Yep. And I said, what's on the horizon? He goes, to be honest with you, he goes, if we play our cards right here in Baton Rouge, I would like to retire here. And I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Because a lot of people are like, oh, he wants the UCLA job. And I asked him, I flat out asked him, we were coming back on the plane, and I said, hey, rumor has it is, if UCLA job opened up, and he literally looked at me, and I'm sitting across from a cat corner from him, and he goes, could you imagine me in California? Because I don't fit. And I'm like, yeah, good point.
Because that's the thing is I think, and we've always said it, I asked, we had Darius Days on last Friday, I asked him, like, what is it, from someone that's not from here, they end up here, and it's just like Louisiana just gets this hold on you, And I feel like it's just very obvious when Will talks about the state and the people and all those things. It's this place just attaches to you, and you can't shake it.
So I'll tell you this. Yesterday morning, I was at the gym working out, and someone who owns a restaurant here in town, famous restaurant, not Phil's. Will went to dinner there with he and his wife and his daughter this weekend, and they handed his wife a menu, and they looked at him and they go, we know what you want, because he ordered the same thing at this restaurant. And he tells the owner of the restaurant, he goes, man, I've been missing this food. And the owner looks at him and goes, well, it doesn't look like it, bud. You put all the stuff down. And so we laughed. And so, listen, I had people call me Saturday morning, man. He was back out on campus running Saturday morning. Oh, my God, he's back. And I'm like, well, yeah, you saw everything. I mean, the internet blew up. And so
he blew up.
It blew up. It blew up Thursday, Friday. It was bad, man.
But if anybody's built for it, it's him. Like he said it himself. He's like, I've learned to not really
worry
care
about
the perception of myself.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
say
know
what you want.
I don't know if I said this Friday when I was here. Like some of his phone got leaked.
Yeah.
His phone number got leaked, and I'm like, man, you gonna change your phone? He goes, no, it'll stop. And I mean, like some of the messages was just.
I can only imagine.
I mean, I don't even like repeating it, and he kind of just shrugged it off, because I'm like, I was getting mad. It's not my phone, and then I talk about my family, and he's like, you just don't respond. They'll get over it. They'll get over it.
They will.
It's part of the job.
It is, especially when you move the way that he does, where he is. That was the most refreshing thing to me. Is like, as much as he said he's changed, he really hasn't in terms of who he is.
I think the passion hasn't changed.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was still there.
In other ways. Yeah,
but it was like what he starts talking about, like, make no mistake about it, we're gonna win. And like the way he says it, the conviction he has, like, I believe you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to harp on the previous coach, but it lacked that certain panache of,
no doubt,
like, this is not. I'm just not taking the LSU job to take the LSU job. I'm taking it to make it a winner.
Yeah.
And it does feel like there is unfinished business, and all of it, when you look at it in totality, if you're North Carolina State, it makes a lot of sense. Like, he didn't get fired in the way that normal people get fired. It wasn't like LSU was saying, you didn't perform here, you have to go. It was, you're the best coach we've had in 20 years, and you're making LSU basketball relevant, and you did it a little bit differently, and now that different thing has become the actual way, you weren't wrong, you were just early. And now if you want to come back here, the door's wide open, and North Carolina State, on paper, better job. But the people, the relationships, what he has in Louisiana, you can see it on his face.
You say it's a better job, and he and I talked about this coming home, is, they say the SEC is harder than the ACC. Okay, and that could be true. ACC, we've had arguments in my office about ACC, SEC, basketball's better. But he was told up there by certain people, I don't know who, he just said, you really want to go back to the SEC? It's a hard conference. And he's like, hell yeah, I want to go back. I want to play in the hardest conference. When I succeed, I want to succeed at the best. I don't want to, we know he can win in a mid-major. And so he
can win in the SEC,
right?
And it's gotten better since he's left,
right?
But you can't tell me there's not a coach that holds the title in the SEC as a head coach in this conference and goes, oh, good, they hired Will Wade. Yeah, everybody went, fuck.
Right.
That just became a lot harder of a W than it was for the last 5 years.
And I think the other thing that bothers me, get NC State fan base and administration out of it, LSU, the media, when he was hired at NC State, it was a great hire. He's a great coach. He comes back to LSU. Oh, that's ridiculous. Why? Why? People leave ESPN to go to ABC or CBS after a year. And you don't bash those guys. I truly believe LSU is the bad boy of sports.
Oh, 100%.
And they're the villains, and they will always be, no matter what.
But especially now.
If you don't,
Mulkey, Kiffin, Wade.
Jay Johnson, Jay Clark. And I just, guys, get over it. And so what I've tried to do is
it's not going anywhere.
No, we're here. Mm-hmm. He's got a 7-year contract, so guess what? Look out. And I do agree with you, both of you, that LSU's basketball is relevant again.
It's back.
And they see it on the horizon, and they're like, "Oh shit, here we go."
Yeah,
here we go.
What was the stat that you had yesterday about the most talked about?
LSU's the 5th most when you look at social media impressions and engagement. The 5th most impressions out of all D1 basketball programs is LSU.
Yeah.
The other 9 in the top 10 are all in the Sweet 16. So LSU is back to being nationally relevant, right? And I think to your point, if you're, and this will be great for Hunter Hall in the chat, our Alabama fan, Nate Oates and Will Wade used to go at it. The games that LSU and Alabama would play, the SEC championship game in 2021 when they got after it.
Here's the thing.
He leaves, Nate Oates is probably like, okay.
Here's the thing: nobody knows they're friends.
Of course,
they're friends.
They are.
Same thing with Mangione and Jay Johnson.
Of course,
yeah.
Best buddies.
You can still look. I'm friends with a lot of people that I argue with.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's
fun.
Now
that's back, and Nate Oates is probably like, okay, let me tighten up my tie and button up my jacket. We gotta get back to work.
Yeah, it's funny, and like I said, look, North Carolina is hiring Billy Donovan, and supposedly that's their hire,
the rumors,
and you still don't see as much about that as you did about Will coming back to Baton Rouge.
That's a blue blood, 2-time national championship coach. Where was he? Retired?
No, he was at the Bulls.
Billy Donovan's the Chicago Bulls
head coach.
Head coach.
Yeah.
He's going back to college. See,
it hasn't been announced yet.
Okay,
but that's what it's trending. That's what it looks like. Because I think the Bills just announced the Bulls just announced that they were targeting somebody, Schreier or whatever, as their next franchise head coach. And so, you're right. Listen, I'll tell you this. I get Will Wade's a big personality, but the LSU brand, this whole process made me realize that LSU brand is huge. Mm-hmm. Those 3 letters are huge, and people are watching it. You might not like it. Kind of like he said, look, I'm not for everybody. LSU's not for everybody, but the people who do love LSU, and there is a lot of people across the world that love LSU. The brand is really I said this, and I'll be the first to admit it. Being from Louisiana, being a big LSU fan all of my life, you kind of take it for granted. Right. You become complacent with those 3 letters. But when you see it outside of LSU, look, I was privileged enough to go up and get him, and when you land and there's media, and I'm like, look, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'm gonna go inside to the FBO, and they're like, be careful, and I'm like, what do you mean be careful? Man, there's fans and they're irate, and I'm like, all right. And so I prepared myself, and I walked in, and there was nobody in there, and I looked around, and the lady behind the desk goes, we got everybody out. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And not everybody's jerks up there. They're just passionate fans, and I understand it, and they're hurt. I understand it, but it's time to get over it. Move on.
And passionate fans at NC State or at some of these other schools, it's a little bit different than passionate fans in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because
I agree.
And
I tell this story, and I do. It was very emotional seeing him again. I've seen him before, but seeing him and knowing he's coming home with us. Yeah. We got on a plane. Everybody, got on a plane and closed the door. We were taxiing, and I kid you not, and it's this kind of a cliche. When the wheels lifted off the ground in North Carolina State, it was like a weight was lifted off his shoulders. You could just see it, like it's over.
Going back home.
Yeah, I'm going home. And I did. I literally said, it's time to come home, and he goes, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. And so, hats off to everybody involved. I just had a small part in it. And like I said, I think it was really nice that Verge yesterday talked about McMahon and thanked him for his
100%.
his deal. And it's time to move on. I
mean,
think,
with Verge, he's been on the job how long? What was it, October?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's quite the first handful of months.
Oh, look, I told him yesterday. I grabbed him. I was standing in the portal before the press conference, and I told Verge, I go, "You've just about, if you haven't, you're so close to sealing your legacy and making such an imprint on LSU athletics that it's impressive. You pulled two of the biggest coaches out of pretty good places. I mean,
Right.
look, I'm not going to say North Carolina State's the best job, but or it's better than LSU.
North Carolina's a basketball state.
Yeah, and you pulled him and you pulled Lane Kiffin, the best college football coach in the country, and you have him on your staff, and you have the five, and no shade to other coaches on LSU's staff or LSU athletic department, but you have the top five sports with the best coaches in the country. I mean, Kim Mulkey, we can say she's one of the top 5 best coaches in the country. Jay Johnson, best baseball coach in the country. Will Wade, one of the best top 5 basketball coaches. Lane Kiffin, the best, and Jay Clark, one of the best, top 3 best gymnastics coaches in the country. And so, look, it's a good time to be an LSU fan.
Well, that's my thing, is that they are committed to being good at all of it. Like, it's not, no, we'll take that sport off and we won't worry about that. Or no,
and for so many years and so many days and so many hours, I've heard LSU just doesn't really care. They just don't care about men's basketball. They showed that in the last few days that they do care about men's basketball.
They're gonna make it happen.
Well, you have to invest in that was the thing. It almost felt like you see how like Major League Baseball is run, right? Where there's teams that are more than willing to sit back, lose, but they still get the revenue because they're a part of something that there's only 30 of them, and so the Yankees can do it their way. But at the end of the day, we're all in the same pot. For SEC basketball, they get that SEC check, and you could be more than happy making $2 million. Or you'd say, well, if we can make $2 million, why can't we make 10? And this is the way that you do it. You go and hire somebody to be competitive, and you're going to have to spend money to make money.
No doubt.
And they did that
business
in every single sport. They are. It's funny because LSU has not become. I don't think it's recognized as even like an opportunity for higher learning anymore, which it shouldn't be. Like, we don't come here to play school. We come here to watch athletics. Like, when you sign up, what's the reason you went to LSU? What's the reason you went to LSU? The reason I went to LSU.
Well, enrollment goes up when you win.
When you win. But you're there for the athletics. You're there to go to Death Valley. You're there for the season tickets, like the student tickets. That's what Louisiana is. That's what the culture is. It's all surrounding around sports, and it feels like the state finally just said, you know what? This is how we make money. We're going to go all in on it.
Yeah, and I to that aspect of it, I do think Dr. Roos, great guy. I mean, look, I got to tell you, his speech yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to be honest with you, probably one of the best speakers I've heard in a long time. I mean, he really cares about LSU. He cares about Louisiana, and I think he's going to take the education part of it and get it back to where it needed to be, and where, basically on the elite status that LSU athletics is on. I think it's dipped in the last few years. There's a lot of, everybody says, oh, you're just involved in athletics. I am, but I do watch academic very closely. You don't want kids, you want to keep kids in Louisiana. Everybody talks about kids leaving Louisiana to go into Alabama, and, Alabama's throwing money at everybody. It's not all about money. You don't want to devalue the LSU the degree, and I think in the last few years that the LSU degree has been
well, this is also how you
devalued.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Dr. Roos has made it a point, and with the new chancellor, they're going to put this back to where it needs to be and on an elite status, just like athletics. And so you're going to win on I have complete faith not only in athletics, I have complete faith in the academic world that LSU is going to be back in elite at all aspects,
because you're going to start getting not only in-state kids to stay, but out-of-state kids to come in that come from the New Yorks, New Jerseys. That out-of-state tuition hits a little different. Yeah. Instead of having tops every time, we're like, I got tops.
And so you might see enrollment dip a little bit from where we were. I mean, look,
I think it's going to go.
Well, to get into LSU, it has
the
requirements kind of decreased over the last few years.
Would have been nice about 7 years ago.
Yeah, right. You made it, bud. You
after a year.
I mean, hey, good things come to those who wait. Look, we just did it with a basketball coach.
You're right. Why
are you so tan today?
I got my second chance.
Biloxi.
You were laying on the beach?
We went out to the pool because Friday we got there, everybody was hungover. So Saturday morning we're like, we'll go to the pool.
Let's go back to Friday. I saw you went to the fight. Did y'all see the picture? He was very snazzy.
Yeah, he was.
Very snazzy.
He took the picture.
I know. Like, did your brother win?
I felt like you. I literally, I told him, I was like, I feel
did
like
you
Charles
smell good?
Harvey right now.
Did you smell good?
Not as good as you, but I think I smelled okay. Standing next to Poggi, so.
Well, you've got to smell better than him, right?
Yeah.
So did your brother win?
Yeah. You haven't seen the video?
No.
Yeah, he did win. He won, it was 3 rounds, 1 minute and 30 seconds each.
He knocked somebody out?
No. He won by
unanimous decision, huh?
Which
really?
honestly,
split or unanimous?
I think the decision honestly made it a little cooler.
Because there was suspense.
Because there was the suspense. Like, I thought he lost, to be honest. I guess because I was nervous, I kept turning to them asking, like, did he win? Like, do you think he won? And they were very adamant, like, yes, he won 100%. And then, so, like, you didn't know he won until they said fighting out of the blue corner.
Oh, really?
And then I just went nuts and started talking
Did you storm the
guys.
Did you storm the ring?
No. As soon as the way they had it set up, they went, like, out in the back. With the fighters, as soon as he went out the ring to the back, I went to go see him with my mom and my dad. So it was awesome.
Mom and dad went down.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I decided to go on the show Friday.
I knew there was a reason.
My mom texted me. She was like, "Hey, we got tickets. We're going." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't be the only one."
Yeah, you'd have been a slapdick. Son.
Yeah, I had to go, and my friends were mad at me that I missed part of Biloxi, but I made the right decision.
It was worth it.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it was
good
fun.
for you, man. You got a winner in the family.
A lot of fun, and I made money in Biloxi.
Did you? Did you bet the hard ways?
$400. I actually didn't bet the hard, but I didn't roll any of the hards, so it worked out. Okay. I made about $100 rolling craps.
Okay.
And then about $300 on blackjack.
So now you're in the craps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like it?
It's confusing. It's
not confusing.
It's kind of intimidating.
It is intimidating.
But once I started rolling, and I understand. It's not that I don't understand craps because I played bubble craps. It's just the board's very big. There was like this massive, like, he's not the dealer, but the guy standing there like
the pit boss,
the pit boss or whatever, and he's mogging me. So I'm like kind of intimidated. I don't know, but I figured it out. I'm good now on craps. I rolled for about 20, 25 rolls.
Good for you.
Nice. You got hot on the table.
Yeah, that's a great roll. I'd have made a lot of money on that.
That's how you make friends.
No, that's
made a lot of money on that.
I didn't really know what I was betting.
That's perfect.
So I didn't make that much money. But like my friend who was standing next to me made like $600 on my roll. Yeah. Chase.
Oh, good.
Nice.
There you
nice.
go.
Who's chasing?
Congratulations.
Good weekend.
Yeah, great weekend.
Did you find a hooker?
No, I couldn't find one. Oh, there were only ugly women at the Golden Nugget.
He did come back and say that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. The only attractive girl was the waitress at the pool.
And so they tried.
And then they started getting competitive.
Yeah, we started getting competitive. My friend was like, well, let me get a double shot. Well, now I'm like, okay, well, let me get a quadruple shot.
Yeah. So they were drinking pina coladas like, you know how we're going to get her attention. Let's get as drunk as possible because that's going to make us
active. That'll work. Yeah.
Look how much I can drink.
Hey, baby, I'm the best. Yeah. Don't worry about him. Yeah. Good for you, bud. I'm proud of you.
But the fight night was pretty cool.
You.
Like the frat that Wyatt's brother fought against was all lined up behind the barricade behind us. And so we're sitting there, it happens, he wins, and then you can watch Wyatt here. So it gets announced that Sawyer wins. That's his
Sawyer
brother
on the left.
Who your brother's not in a fraternity?
No, he is. He's in SAE.
And what is the other fraternity he fought?
Fiji. And so all the Fiji guys, including Poggi's in Fiji, and his brothers were all behind us.
Oh,
Sawyer
look at that.
And then look at Wyatt.
What?
He starts.
Yeah, you start taunting him. Oh, you. Oh, nice. I like it.
It was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Actually, I was telling him, it's made my relationship with my mom better, which is very odd. Not that we had a bad relationship to start, but I came home on Sunday from Biloxi, and she was like, I've watched this video so many times. It's so nice. And
of you celebrating your brother's victory.
Yeah, what did you say in that clip?
I said, suck my meaty cock, you dumbasses. That's what I turned around
and his mom said, I love that video. I watched it so many times.
I watched it so much.
You supporting your
funny
baby
part about it, your dad said the same thing to me. Hey, so let me ask you this. So any chance you get in the ring?
In the ring?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would do it.
I mean, are you cutting down and...
Well, you can see why he's cutting. Look at his brother. He's
Yeah, I know,
more
but
shredded
you
than
need
Julian salad.
You need to get on his nutritional diet.
Yeah.
I don't think he's eating 3 spicy McChickens in a day.
You never know. The
Yeah.
McChicken.
I will
you're
say,
hating on the hot
when
and spicy.
Wyatt walked out, I was impressed. I was like, oh, wow.
Hey, you
I don't know what I was
Sawyer?
expecting, but
You mean
yeah,
Sawyer.
Sawyer.
I was about to
He
say.
walked out. Yeah, no, good for you, too.
But whose clothes
But
did
Sawyer
you wear
walked out,
Friday
and I was
night?
like,
Oh,
went
I
and bought a
bought
suit.
them. I went and bought them.
Dude, look at this guy.
he swung over to what? Where'd you go?
TJ Maxx
He just
looking.
swung over to the
I mean,
TJ
like-
Maxx.
But I like it. I like the way you dress.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
Good.
I thought I was gonna have to dress nice.
There was a-
so I was like, oh, okay, so I have to go buy these clothes. And then as literally the moment I check out, Noah sends a text saying like, "Is there a dress code?" Fuck.
Because
no.
I
So
told
could've
them,
I
I was
could've
like,
worn
we're just going to
anything.
wear whatever. But, like, when
You
it was
were part of the
posted,
camp.
there was a dress code for, like, the fraternity brothers and the whole thing. They were dressing.
So they
in
thought
white
you were in
war.
a frat.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
looked
you were
like
dressed.
he
You did.
as if-
I
My
did.
mom texted me. She was like, "You're not gonna get in with like jeans," and I was like,
And so I told them, I
okay.
was like, we'll just wear whatever we. And so then I double checked, but it just was a little too late because Casey is the
Yeah.
one that hooked us up. And so I texted him. I was like, "Is there a dress code for this?" And he was like, "Hell no!" And I was like,
So let me ask you this: like, did your mom reimburse you for the clothes?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But I think that's all.
But
all
you
of
did
this
look
goes,
good. Yeah,
all of
even
this goes
Koji,
into
bro,
why.
No, I know I looked
very
fine.
good,
Well,
yeah.
you know what was good that so I was talking to Lloyd. He called me afterwards when I was talking shit to all the frat guys afterwards. Not a single one of them said anything about me being fat. They were all like, "Oh, you got a small dick. Your dick is tiny." And I mean, they're right, but like, how could they possibly know that? You know what I mean? No, not one of them called me fat. So I kind of walked out of there being like, "Oh, that's nice." No one called me
The cutting is working. Yeah,
Get
did
it
not
out
want
working.
fat insult.
I've just got a small dick.
Yeah,
which-
they don't know.
that's all good. They couldn't have known that.
Anybody could get that insult.
That's a wild guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Clock's right twice a day.
it's 50-50, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's like flipping a coin.
that's what I'm saying. So I was happy.
Man, that's awesome. Good for you. Good for
It
your
was-
family.
It was an awesome night.
Your
It was
family.
very
I
fun.
mean, then you go to Biloxi. You were living large this
It
weekend.
was a great weekend.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I got very sunburned, but that was.
But you said to get some color.
I had to get
You
some
do look
color.
better with color.
You do.
My
You
mom
do.
literally said yesterday. I walked in. She was like, "You should have a tan all the time."
God.
I was like, "Well, thanks for
This
saying I look
relationship
like
is-
fucking shit for like
Yeah.
months."
This relationship
But,
is
You
getting
see,
odd.
that's the way you read into it. She didn't say you look like shit. She just said you look better with tan. Your glass
Everybody
is
looks
half-
better with a
Your
tan.
glass is half empty.
Yeah, everybody
Right?
I am
does look
I'm a
better with a
pessimist.
tan. Nobody doesn't look good with a tan.
I like
Correct.
I like Poji's complexion.
Mm-hmm.
But
why are you
haven't
laughing?
seen Poji with a
50-50.
tan.
Why are you laughing?
Because you just
50-50,
called
yeah.
Poji pasty.
No, I didn't.
You're the only one.
You
You're the
see,
only
you got
one,
into that.
including Poji's mom.
He's Michigan white.
Yeah. We also haven't seen Poji with a real tan. We need to see Poji get some.
Well, you'd think he would because he is at baseball literally all day.
That is true.
Yeah, but the problem is,
and he's doing a great job out there.
He's got that hair that kind of leans over, so his face is never going to get really sunburned.
Right,
It's kind of
right.
like
It's
a,
getting
it's like
covered.
a built-in visor.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
We were all rooting for Poji. When we were in the suite on Saturday. He tried out there after the third, and we were
I didn't
like,
see
"Hey,
him.
check him out."
I didn't
I know
see
you
him.
weren't there.
I wasn't there.
And I know you're against this, but I did. I went to Cajuns on Sunday.
And I know I heard you said it was amazing.
It was very good. I don't know. Amazing is that's a high regard for someone as interested in food.
Did your
as
feet
me.
stick to the floor?
No.
Mm.
No, did not.
Did you use the bathroom?
I also they had like a to-go buffet, and it was packed. It was like
Yeah.
Sunday at noon. It was packed. So
Church.
I
After
actually
church.
I ate in my car, which I know you don't like. I took
Are
a
you-
video. I have a video.
Are
of
you
me
kidding me? You
eating
ate in your car?
Yeah, it was awesome.
What did you do with the bones?
Put him in the box.
Out.
Oh, did you throw him in the parking lot?
Throw them on the interstate.
Yeah.
Did you really?
No, not actually. I mean, I ate it like not like while I was driving, but like I sat in the parking lot, ate, made my little video, and then I went and like
You were by
went
yourself?
back in and threw it away. Yeah.
Because they do.
What did you have there?
So I was only allowed to get 3 sides. So I got collard greens.
Oh.
I got mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yep.
And
Mac
like
and
the
cheese?
dirty rice.
Oh, nice.
And then
Good
I had
choices.
the chicken.
Which one was your favorite? Out of
The mashed
3 sides?
potatoes.
Really?
The mashed potatoes were really good.
So it was the mashed potatoes, the butter with the mashed potatoes?
Yeah,
or-
I got gravy on top too.
Oh, geez.
Didn't get much from the gravy. Did its job though.
Yeah.
But the mashed potatoes themselves were
Amazing, right?
they were whipped into like a cloud-like texture. It was just phenomenal. Oh, it was like eating cotton candy.
It's pretty.
We're gonna have to. We
was
might post the
phenomenal.
video. We might have to post the video on
and
YouTube.
then did you get regular chicken or spicy chicken?
I got spicy. I think they gave me mild though. I said it in the video because I was like, I'm not getting much spice here. The chicken was very good. It was very good chicken.
I like spicy too.
I ordered
expecting
spicy. Yeah, it
Didn't
wasn't
come
very
through?
spicy.
You were thinking Popeye spicy.
Exactly.
And it wasn't.
Exactly. And the rice was very spicy, but it was
So they
very
have
good.
it.
Did you try the fried chicken livers?
No, I didn't get because with the to-go box, you can only get it's like 2 pieces of chicken or like 4 pieces of fish or like however many livers. So I was like, well, I have to.
Oh,
get
you
the
couldn't
chicken.
really get the whole experience.
really mix
Yeah,
So
I had to get the chicken. Yeah. And I also the dessert bar looked phenomenal. You would have had a blast.
I was waiting for you to
soft
bring
serve
up
ice
dessert.
cream machine, 2 different like cobblers, 2 different pies. They had a thing of brownies, cookies.
That is
It
outstanding.
does feel like
You
this.
should have gone back in for dessert.
You
Yeah.
can a la mode the whole
me,
thing.
They gave me a little thing for dessert.
Yeah.
But
I was in my car.
okay, to be perfectly honest with you.
What did you think? You went Sonic?
No, to be perfectly honest with you, this is a little embarrassing. Not really, I don't really care. But I had eaten at Waffle House with my friends about 20 minutes before I went to Cajun's. So I wasn't that hungry. And it looked like a little bit of a hassle for the dessert thing. So I was like, skip the dessert.
I think I would just you talking about that, I would crush that dessert.
No,
bar.
the dessert bar
because you just go what you do
phenomenal.
is you go bowl of soft serve,
Yeah.
and then you a la mode all the
right,
brownies, the cookies, and the cobblers.
all that. Yeah.
Or you go, or you just get back up and go more ice cream.
More ice cream, more cobbler.
What?
So what we haven't talked about is the clothes you wore in there. You didn't eat in there, so you were good. If
I
you
was
eat
in there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you eat in there, you literally have to take your clothes off and burn them.
No,
The smell?
you're hating on this place.
No, I'm not hating on
This
it.
is a fine establishment. It was packed.
No, I
like jam packed. I had to wait in line for like 5 minutes before I even got to the front thing. Like this is a fine establishment.
I'll tell you this: the food is decent. I don't know about the establishment being fine. I mean, I could consider
It was
fine
fine
like
dining.
fine dining. No.
It was luxurious.
Yeah, stop. Do you dip your fried chicken in ketchup?
Oh no!
Oh, come
Who
on.
does that?
You got it right here.
You're a freak, man.
Oh, stop. You thought I was a freak when I brought you taco pizza.
It's
Well,
true.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh.
But ketchup. I'm not anti-ketchup. Ketchup's fine, but there's so many better sauces.
Well, I understand
Ranch.
that. But
you got honey mustard.
you're
I got
not
barbecue
dipping
sauce.
chicken in ranch.
He does the blackened ranch from Popeyes.
That's disgusting.
Oh, you got to put him on it now. Look, if you trust him with the taco pizza, this is his 1-1. Blackened
Black
ranch.
and ranch is
Ranch.
the greatest thing in the
Black and
history
ranch
of the world.
is good.
I might have black and ranch back in the kitchen. I'll have to try it.
I'll lick it out of there like
Whoa,
a
whoa,
fucking
whoa,
jelly.
whoa. All of a sudden, why does all of our conversations all of a sudden turn south really quickly?
I don't know. You bring these things up.
I didn't say to go stick your tongue in it and clean
That's
it
how I
out.
eat black and ranch.
Oh.
Is that a girl named Black and Ranch?
Yeah, that was a stripper he got
screen name,
below.
yeah.
If there was a stripper named Black and Ranch, I would pay her rent for months. Tongue
It comes out
punching.
of her nipples.
Tongue punch black.
Why weren't
Black
you
and
at
Ranch.
the press conference yesterday?
I was.
I didn't see you.
We were up top. We were with the.
My boy Noah got a question in.
He did.
Yeah.
I was getting harassed in the group chat.
Yeah, he's like, hey, man, ask this. Like, follow up with this question.
A two-parter.
Raise your hand.
Again.
It was funny.
Again. There's only 2 more questions. We'll make yours one of them.
It was funny because I don't think we've been to multiple press. I don't think we've ever asked anything.
I know. It was
No,
awesome.
not usually.
And so
Did
when
you
those
hear it?
texts
Did you hear
started
it?
coming,
I'm Noah with
Yeah.
Tingle and
And
Co.
Co.
Yeah,
I
damn
should have
straight
said
job,
Southern
bud.
Regional Medical Center.
No.
Brought to you by.
Our Lady Lake would have gotten pissed off.
but the way that I was in the text thread as well, and I was like, oh, he's gonna have to ask a question now. Like
Yeah,
you did get
Getting
bullied
harassed.
into it, and then your question was the question that was put in the chat. Also, a great question.
It was a good question.
But he went for the lob.
Yeah, I went for a little softball game, a little toss.
And he laid it up, didn't dunk it.
Yep.
But still,
That's
it was a
okay.
good question. Didn't
Great
ruffle any
question.
feathers.
Okay, I thought it was good.
Well, I just felt like, especially with Will, because we have a relationship with him, I didn't want to just because he had saw me and acknowledged me whenever he first got up there. Like I saw, and so I was like, I know he knows I'm right here, so I don't want to just sit here and stare at him. So I need to ask something.
That was a good idea.
And so
There's a lot of people staring. How many people y'all think was at the
I
press?
thought there'd be more, to be honest.
I didn't get
But
I didn't get a good look at what was behind. So
It was class.
It was noon on a Monday. That's what I told
Class.
people.
You know, people had class. I would have skipped class.
Yeah, that's
You
what
had
I
a
thought.
good you had a good angle. How many? What would if you had to guesstimate
With
a
the
number?
media as well.
Yeah, just everybody in general. Boosters, media, fans.
200?
Oh, okay.
150? What'd you say?
I was gonna say 500.
Oh, probably so. Yeah, like around then. I don't know. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
than
more
200.
packed.
Are you
Yeah,
counting,
yeah.
Are you counting the band?
Yeah, I will say
They were there.
it was more than a handful of the games that I'd been to.
Yes.
Is that true?
I agree with that.
I do think there were some games, especially later down the line of the season, that the crowds were very weak. There was not. There were pictures on like the final score after, I forget what the game was at the end of the last home game. They posted the final score, and it's a picture of P.J. Carter shooting a 3, and there is no one in the stands behind him.
So it probably was around 500 then.
How packed do you think his first home game is
my
going to
God.
be?
Oh, it's going to be.
We took a bet. We have a bet going over under.
No.
What's the line?
9,500. 8,500, I think. I said over.
8,500. I'd
How
go.
much does it hold? 13,000?
I don't think it'll be 13,000.
No, I'll go over though. I'll go over 8,500.
Yeah. So
because it's going to be packed, especially it depends who they play. Like I mean, if they,
I don't even care non-conference.
Right.
People
Well,
just
I'm
want to
saying,
see him.
if they ever
his return
schedule
to-
McNeese, it'll sell out.
Yeah, that would. I got to be honest, that would be a great game.
It would be an excellent game.
It'd be a great game. So I know somebody asked him that yesterday. I think.
Yeah. One of the guys from that covered when he was in Lake Charles asked.
You would sit next to. Will you sit next to Ron Higgins?
No, he was behind. He was the row behind.
You think so, Ron?
You think so, Ron? That was the first thing that popped in my head when Ron started
Me
asking the question
too.
of Will. Just so many good memories of Will with the same media just from before.
Right.
So many.
It's
fun
really
memories.
good. I mean, I just laughed, when they showed his the video before he came out. And, were you living under a rock? And so I literally asked somebody. I said, "Man, I want to get a hold of that video because it was.
It's
awesome.
a good one.
It was really good.
There were so many good memories. I mean, the ULL one during the NIT. You live in a rock. There's the You Think So, Ron. I think it was after the Alabama loss. He asked a question about, I don't remember exactly, but it was Ron Higgins that asked, and he goes, his little first line was, "You think so, Ron?"
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, so many. But it was a cool day yesterday.
Yeah, it was more than this.
I mean, look, like that. I knew it was this last guy. I mean, that's
and look, and you were counting the people and the cheerleaders.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the courtside seats are filled, but the arena itself.
Yeah.
Empty, sparse.
Empty.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to know the number of ticket requests as of today. I know over the weekend it was like 700. So I'd like to see that again.
I told this to Noah yesterday. That was the second time I'd been to the PMAC this year for men's basketball. One was the game that y'all got us tickets against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And now Will Wade comes back his first time in the arena. I'm there.
And I'm sure, like, I've been told a lot, like, man, I'm getting my season tickets back. I want season tickets. I want to be back there. Like, it's just an excitement, kind of like Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin had, I think LSU had 40,000 ticket requests for football when Lane Kiffin got hired. His first game against Clemson is going to be huge.
That's going to be sold out. Yeah,
So I'm excited.
It's very exciting. I don't know how you could look at it and not think, not be excited about what's in front But just being there, the drums when he was walking out, the smoke and the fire and the
Mike
lights.
wearing the general costume,
the T-shirts they gave out, all of it.
Unbelievable.
It was cool.
Well, and he was so right when he said, I don't want basketball to be a stopgap between football and spring football.
Right.
And baseball.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's like, basketball. Like, it really got to a point this year where I didn't know that they played the night before.
Yeah.
And I'd covered this for a job, and I was like, I didn't know they were playing.
Don't tell your boss that.
I know. Noah?
Whoever your boss is. I don't know who your boss is. I'm just saying.
I think it's Noah.
No, I mean it's not wrong. I mean, with all that went on, like the Brian Kelly firing and the Lane Kiffin hiring and how that all drug out, and the way women's basketball has been so successful, it's been very easy for you to just forget that
but
men's
Wade's not going to let
basketball is
you.
around, right?
No, you can't.
No, not anymore.
That's the good part about it. I was. Look. You look back at it and you go, okay, they got rid of Bill Tate left, the president. Then they got rid of Brian Kelly. Then they got rid of Scott Woodard. Then they brought Wade Roos in. Then they brought the chancellor in at the same time they brought Wade Roos in. Then they hire Heath Schroyer, and then they bring back Will Wade. I mean, that's a lot of movement in a university in a short period of time.
That was done very smoothly.
Yeah, for I think for the first time in both hires of Lane Kiffin and Will Wade, we didn't fumble.
And didn't screw it up. You had a one name list for both of them, and you got the one name.
Yeah, and so I think it's good to see that happen. At least from my standpoint,
100%.
It's good to see that happen. And now it's time for everybody, because I've had a lot of friends go, man, if we get Will Wade back, I'm going to give money. I literally wanted to take a can and walk around the PMAC and go, okay, I'd like the kind that jingles, but we'd rather the kind that falls. We'll come into America and just pass the can around and see what you could do, because it's time for everybody to put their money where their mouth is.
Next week, portal opens.
Portal opens. He's all excited about that. He was laughing about it. I literally on the plane coming home, I go, "When does the portal open?" He goes, "Monday." You don't know that? And I'm like, "Whoa,
we didn't pay attention to that."
I wasn't, for 4 years. Like, you got to get me back into that mindset.
You're a win now.
Mindset.
Now we're paying attention to who's in it.
Right.
And I want to know, like some of the players were there yesterday. Markel Sutton,
Which I think he's out of.
Jada Bob, he's out of time. Jada Bob is out of time.
Jalen Reese was out there.
Jalen Reese was out there. He's a freshman. He could come back.
Jalen Reed.
I didn't see him, but I heard he was there. Yep. So it's going to be interesting if he keeps anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will. Could
as of right now, the only ones in the portal are DJ. Thomas, Reed. But Reed went in the portal, but made sure to include he would come back, like coming back is on the table. And then Mozzie Mosley, the freshman, entered yesterday. So those are the only ones that have entered so far.
Yeah, and he hit the ground running. I heard he was talking to the staff, former staff or people still on
some
the
of
staff.
them were there as well.
Yeah, and so he talked to them on Saturday. And so look, he hit the ground running. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be a lot like Lane. The one thing he did tell me, he said, he and I were having a conversation. He said, I'm a little bit more family oriented. So I was glad to see him, because look, I mean, you're talking about a guy who. Really, I don't think he was there for the birth of his daughter. And
he was
so,
recruiting.
Yeah, and so I think he's realizing it. I told him, I said, man, you got a little bit more gray hair since the last time you were here in town. He started laughing. It do to you. I mean, I got less hair, so it doesn't matter.
But it just that was the thing. It just felt like seeing him on the podium in the PMAC, the whole thing. And I was talking to a couple people before, and I was like, it's just right. Like,
and it's surreal. Like I don't know that it's really hit me again. I mean, I was there through the process, through the latter part of the process, and I just like, man, it's surreal. It
crazy.
Really is surreal. Mm-hmm. It's surreal. It's like pinch myself, and he laughed with me yesterday before the conference. I was talking to him. He gave me a big hug, and he goes, man, did you ever think this was going to happen again? I go, I had a wish and a dream and a hope, but no, I didn't. I really didn't. People, I mean, as it spun up, I kind of figured, yeah, that could be a really big thing, and then as it continued to spin, and I figured, yeah, it's going to happen, and then and there was a lot of people. I watched people bet. I literally watched people in front of me bet he's never coming back.
Right.
He's never. And I'm watching the money go. And I'm thinking it's happening, and you're going to lose your money. Like, you're giving money away. And somebody said, man, you knew that when we were making the bets. Why didn't you get in on it? I go, it's insider trader. I might get a little bit more integrity than that.
But that's the thing. It's just like. I
could have made a lot of money, though. I'm not going to lie.
When he took the NC State job for me, that's when I was like, dang it. You know what I mean? Like, that was when he was at McNeese, he's looking for the next step up. And so there's always a time you could capitalize on giving him the job back from McNeese. But when he took NC State, I was like, there's the program that gave him the chance. We missed out on it timeline-wise. But didn't. And I think that's what made yesterday, seeing him up there, I was like, okay, good. That's what it's supposed to be.
And, people, I've never really asked him, since he's been gone from LSU, would you come back to LSU? I just never did. Like, I don't want to.
Of course.
I don't want to abuse my friendship with him, and I guess it's really not abusing, but that's more selfish for me. Would you ever come back? But after, as we got closer, and I'm like, man, you really want to come back to Baton Rouge? And he's like, yeah. And then, he told me his story about, winning with friends, and this is home, and he really wants to raise his daughter here. It's a great place to raise kids.
Yeah.
And so it all worked out. I know North Carolina, well, he's been talking to them. Yeah, come on, man. Nobody talked.
You didn't need a long, drawn-out process like he said yesterday. It didn't take a lot because
they offered it to him.
He knew
He contacted him.
He knew Schroyer. He knew Verge. He knew the whole deal.
Yeah, and so it
no
was an interview process.
Yeah,
I mean, so what do you – I mean, you make a call to his agent and go, hey, we'd like to talk to your client about a job here. And he goes, let me see if he's interested. Yes, he's interested. Okay, send it to the attorney, send it to his agent. Here are the term sheets. This is what we're looking at. I'm sure there was some negotiation, and it's over with. I mean –
I know who I'm hiring.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, well, we got 3 other candidates. I said that from the get-go. If you were going to part ways with McMahon, Will Wade was the only person to go get.
Yep.
Because he can bring what we saw yesterday,
The buy-in,
back
the excitement.
immediately. I mean, you go get another mid-major guy. Or, I mean, you could hire Billy Donovan, is it Billy Donovan? Yeah, is it Billy Donovan?
Yeah.
Billy Donovan, you would have made a splash, but you'd have overpaid. And
you hire another mid-major coach, they do the press conference in the Lawton room.
Yeah, and you go.
You hire Will Wade, they do it.
You could have done it over Zoom.
Yeah, I agree.
I have no interest
We
in
were on a
being
plane
here.
coming back, and I'm like, when's the press conference? They're like, well, we got to wait to see what happens with the women. He was very adamant, like, I don't want to take any thing away from the women. They're doing a great job, yada, yada, yada. And so when the women lost, it was like, then they said, look, when we do this, they looked at me and said, do you think the PMAC? And I go, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Open it up to the public and bring in the PMAC, bring everybody in the PMAC. And so I think it was good.
It was awesome.
I think it helped the fans, too, to connect. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people. Listen, we have a family friend of ours who has a daughter special needs daughter who literally loved Will Wade. Like, when he left, she cried almost as much as I did. She cried. And so her mom brought her yesterday, and they're sitting in the stands. And before the press conference, I kind of gave her a high five. She still had her "I Will Wade for You" shirt,
and her bow she had a Will Wade bow.
Yeah,
one too.
and she had a fat head of his face. And so after the press conference was over, we grabbed her and brought her down.
Yeah.
And she literally looked at my wife. She goes, "Am I going to be able to talk to him?" Yeah, you can be able to talk to him. And so she grabbed Coach at one point, and she turned around. And he said, he called her by name, and she was all excited. High-fived, he gave her a hug, took a picture with her.
That's awesome.
I mean, it made her day, and he's just that type of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, people see the villain side of him and the intensity, but he is such a good – like, I was at dinner with him Friday night, and we were in a group of people, and we're in a really big restaurant, and people are coming up to him while he's eating. Can I take a picture with him? He stands up, takes a picture with them. He sits back down, eats a couple more bites. Somebody else, can I take a picture with you? He stands up, takes a picture. I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to fend them off until you finish eating. He's like, no, man, I'm good. And
I would never. I couldn't. I'm not gonna take a picture. I'm eating. This is
I'll bite your fucking hand.
Yeah, this is like this is a very important moment of my day.
Somebody get between you and your McSpicy McChicken, and their ass is grass.
It's going to be a fucking problem. I'll tell you that right now.
Noah, just give me 30 seconds. I'll be done with this.
Yeah. Just give me 5 minutes and the meal will be gone, and then I'll take as many.
But he's not like that, man. He took pictures.
That's awesome.
There was some good. I don't have my phone on me. I'll share that with y'all. But there was a video. We were at Supper Club, and when it's somebody's birthday, they bring out a board, the sign, and I don't know if you saw it. And so they brought out "Welcome Back, General." And so we're sitting there, and I kind of knew it was going to happen, but he didn't, and not everybody we were with. It was a group of 30, and not everybody knew. And all of a sudden, they have a DJ in there.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, the music gets really, really loud, and it's the LSU fight song.
God, that's awesome.
And everybody just kind of starts looking around, and they come out, and so we all kind of sat up from the table and moved away from him, and he I don't know that he likes it, because I mean he's kind of but he embraced it, and he was excited about it. I know his family's excited about it, and so great day.
It is.
LSU baseball did great.
They
won
did
2 out of 3.
Weekend
I mean, put up
win.
some big numbers on Sunday. God, that was a long game.
It was forever.
I mean,
Sunday.
enough.
Did you go on Sunday or no?
I did go on Sunday. It was a little
4
late.
hours and 43 minutes.
God.
Yeah, I was a little late Sunday because it was Palm Sunday.
How was the
took a little long.
How was the concert Saturday night?
Concert was okay. I'm not a country music fan.
Right.
I mean, and we were in a suite, and where our suite is, it's almost, I think it was eye level with the speakers, and so literally I sat inside and listened because the glass and the door kind of buffered the sound.
Yeah,
I mean it was loud. Like it
didn't be too loud.
It was deafening. There was a lot of people, not as quite as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
But I don't know country music, so people who loved him, and
you're a better man than I.
You wouldn't have gone. I had to go for my family. My daughter wanted to go.
I do. You're a good man.
Yeah,
I would have been. You
good
go
father,
have fun.
Good friends. I had my brother and his wife and my nieces and their friends, and it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun to cut up in a football suite in the middle of
of course. Yeah.
You just didn't. It's just not the.
March.
I was sat outside too.
I mean, look, Garth Brooks. I like it. Like Garth Brooks wasn't really country music. He was kind of more of a pop country music, and so I saw him because I kind of knew his music when I was growing up, and so I saw him in concert. It was an unbelievable concert. I knew all of his songs because I grew up on him.
Right.
And then, but I wouldn't have known Luke Bryan if he, or Luke, whatever.
Zach
Bryan.
See, yeah, exactly.
Whatever his name is. I wouldn't have known that dude if he'd have walked up to me before the concert.
yeah.
But, it was good. I think it's good for LSU.
It was.
I'm anxious to see. I'm not going to be in town, but I'm anxious to see if Post Malone and Jelly Roll do.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that
good
one.
And so, it was a good weekend.
It was
Good
a great weekend.
Good weekend. We started out for me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and went into Saturday and Sunday, and like I said, the baseball game. Literally, I walk into the baseball game, it's like 3-0. I'm literally walking in on the first inning, it's like 3-0. I'm like, oh man, here we go, and then it's 7-0, and I'm like, oh well. I said maybe we'll get 10-run rule, then I'll go home early, and then next thing you know, it's 7-1, 7-2, 7-6, and then all of a sudden I'm like 10-6. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. Look at this, and yeah, it was like, hats off to Jay Johnson. I mean, the guys really showed some determination to come back and win. Man, look, it was a good game.
Were you there when when Dardar had the bat flip?
Yeah, so I was sitting
caught
in.
it.
Yeah, I literally to y'all's eye level.
So I literally was sitting in it. This is so funny. I'm sitting inside talking to someone, and man, I'm watching it on TV, and it's a little delayed, but I literally hear it, and I hear the crowd erupt, and I'm watching on TV, and all of a sudden the camera's following the ball, but somehow as it's going, the bat shows up in the screen, and I'm like, that was higher than the suites, as high as the suites. And I'm like, he's gone, and I don't know the rules about all of that, and I saw the controversy after that.
Yeah, we talked to him. He was in here yesterday, and he was like, no, I thought I was getting ejected. He was like, I made sure to enjoy the trot around the bases because I was like, I thought I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's like, that's a single. I said, no, it was a double hand flip. Like, they showed the replay, and he's like, and look, rightfully so. Look, if I'm coach and he does get ejected, I'm like, bro, yeah, like you deserve it.
Well, I told him yesterday. I was like, I would have done the exact same.
I don't know if I'd have thrown it as high. I was afraid to flip a bat like that because I'm afraid I'd hit somebody.
Oh, he goes, I don't know if he goes, I didn't know if it was going to go in the dugout or into the stands. He goes, but I did know I was going to get ejected.
Yeah,
and then he didn't get ejected.
So why did they not eject him?
I'm assuming
he got a warning.
He got a warning because if he would have turned the other way and been demonstrative towards the opposing team and flipped it at them, he would have got ejected. But instead, it was just, when you look at it, it's obviously just a celebration with the teammates.
Right.
So it's not anything. It was just warning, don't do that again.
So what was the controversy between coaches?
Kentucky's coach wanted him ejected. And they didn't like that he wasn't getting ejected. And then Jay, it got handled, and then Mangione came back out, and that's what pissed Jay off. So then Jay went after him. But here's the Phillip right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he watched it, too.
He launched it. Yeah. No, he looked at it.
Good thing the first base coach didn't get clocked, huh? I don't know where it landed.
He said that the teammates were in the dugout, like, boxing each other out. Like, don't go out there yet. Wait for the bat to land.
I mean, look at this. Like, whoa! I mean, that's awesome. I mean, look, I know it's, I guess it's, I don't know. Why can't they celebrate like, I mean, I get it. I get it's a little excessive, but come on, man. I agree with it. He didn't turn to the other team.
Right,
he didn't
intimidate
him. Yeah, it was with his teammates. Come
you
on.
were down 7-0.
Well, this is the thing. You were losing 7-0. It's now, at this point,
11-10.
It was 10-8 at this point in the ball game. He's from Mandeville, grew up an LSU fan, just hit a home
Went to
run.
Holy Cross. Went to Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Favorite place.
Played Little League baseball with Wyatt.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Wyatt was his first baseman.
Really?
Yeah.
And I mean,
Back when I was
So you were like the York of.
No.
You were like
How dare you, Charles?
You were like the
How dare you?
Come on, man! You were before your time. You set the
No.
standard. Tommy
How
White.
dare you?
Cade
I was all state. I'll have you know.
I'm not saying you weren't. I'm just saying you were like you set the standard for first basemen.
You're
Okay,
the
I mean, that's fair.
What do you? What do you?
They were looking for the prototype.
Exactly.
But York,
Is there something wrong with you?
he's left-handed.
Okay, then I didn't know you were right-handed.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah,
How
that's the
dare
big
you.
difference.
How dare you?
It had nothing to
nothing
do with
wrong with being left-handed.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Okay,
I'm
good.
just not left-handed.
I'm left-handed.
Yeah, well,
And y'all could have worn the same jersey.
Yeah,
we didn't.
99.
99. I'm
the
10
same
times 3.
size.
No, we're not the same size.
Well, not anymore. You were when you were in Little League.
No, I was not.
Oh, stop. I want to see pictures.
I've got pictures.
Of you when you were in Little League?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh! The one of him with the shades on in the uni.
You would
the
think
arm
that-
sleeve is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
It's a great photograph.
Where did you play Little League baseball at?
So we played on a travel team, actually on the North Shore. So I drove across the causeway every. So
You didn't drive. You in Little
Well,
League.
my dad did. So look,
Yeah.
that's
hope he
me in
didn't
the
drive.
back. with the glasses on.
You know who you remind me of?
That's Seth right there.
You know who you remind me of?
Who's that?
You ever remember that video? My name is so and so, and I hit dingers.
I hit dingers. My name's Big Al.
Oh, Big Al.
My name's Big Al, and I hit
Shout
dingers.
out Big Al. I do.
Big Al's a little league legend.
That looks like you, bud.
Yeah, there's another one. Where's
So
the
yes,
good one?
I just saw the picture of him in Little League. York. You would have gone to Cajuns right after that game. No doubt about it. I guarantee at that time there was a Pizza Hut buffet and you were in it.
Oh, this is the good one.
Shout out.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not that big in the picture.
Compared to all the other kids you are. You were large. You did have 99 on, bud.
Yeah, I wore 99.
It's the biggest jersey you can get.
Well, it's Major League.
Yeah.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
I don't know about Wild Thing. Whew. When
He was
you
a
went
player.
to a Chinese buffet, they definitely
No, they hated seeing me coming.
Yeah.
And then he's going to tell me, no, I'm not York. You were definitely York. You were a younger version of York.
No, I was
You're
not.
Big Al.
Brother. No, I was not.
You got to give that to.
I was a better hitter than York. I was far better defensively.
I'm not
than
saying
York.
you. I just said statue-wise, you were a York.
You're just a big guy.
I mean, that's fine, yeah. But I was a.
Glimmer for
I
Dad
think he's a
says,
better player.
I was a better
guaranteed
player.
Wyatt had one of those digital camo arm sleeves.
No, I didn't like the digi camo.
Okay.
I'm not, I
You
wasn't
had
big
the
on that.
what were the necklaces?
Fighting.
The fight. You had a fighting 100%.
What's a fight?
The little twist.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Made
we
you
all
ten
had a
times-
fight.
It made you 10 times better.
You got to
Yeah,
give
I-
Lloyd that picture so you can put it up on the screen for everybody.
We've showed
He
you
has
before.
one.
Yeah, I have
They've
it
showed
that
it.
by email.
They've showed it.
Yeah.
He's got it up
But
there
no, I
somewhere.
think we all wore fighting at some point. You
Oh,
couldn't
those
deny.
were tough. And the wristbands,
The balance bands.
the balance bands. I had like 4 of them.
I was a
Still
strong guy.
Still wasn't fast.
It's okay.
Never got any speed.
Never
That's
did
okay.
any of that.
No.
When I was there, he was like, "You lucky if you had a bat and glove."
Yeah. Well, you were a big Pete Maravich guy, right?
No, I played baseball.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Pete Maravich didn't wear a lot of
Yeah, I
drips, so
didn't-
you
no,
just
yeah. Well, there was
went
no
about
such
your
thing back
business.
then.
You went about your business.
There's
you
no
just
such thing
played
back
ball.
He had
then.
those
We didn't
back
have glasses. I mean, look. When I kid you not, this is a true story. When I played, Dixie Youth is 11 and 12.
There it is,
Look
right
at that.
there.
That's Big Al.
Big Al and
Big Al and I
there's-
hit
so that's
dingers.
Seth Dardar,
Yep.
right there in front, and then of course in
It
the
does-
shades.
it still looks
back
like
there.
Dardar.
It
And
does
look,
look
wait,
like
in the
Dardar.
bottom left, that's Sawyer. That's my little brother.
So
Oh,
let me
really?
ask you this: Did Seth
Jeez,
know
man.
you? You remember you?
Yeah, he knows me.
There they are, right there.
So here he is playing second base for a Division I school, and there you are with a laptop eating Cajuns.
Yeah. Life takes you.
But
Two
wait,
different
wait,
roads.
wait. I'm sitting next to Charles Harvey.
That's true.
Where is he
Whoa,
sitting?
yeah, that's right.
He was
Dugout.
ringside.
Yeah.
I know what I'm choosing.
Yeah.
The dugout.
Or you could say,
Charles, I love you, but I
I agree with you. I shit.
hey, but if you're not in the dugout, you know where you could be.
where would I be?
Next to Charles Harvey in the suite.
Yeah,
That's
Those-
true.
Those are the. That's the
There's layers
best
to
place
this.
to be is the dugout. Second best
Absolutely.
place.
Yeah. I
If
did
you
pretty
can't-
well for myself, even though I failed at baseball.
That's true.
I tell you what, concessions spiked the game you came.
Not even a question. Oh my gosh.
They were like, more burgers, fire them up.
Yes.
Apparently, we're going tonight, so another big donation to the NIL fund.
Love it. Love it. I'm
Yeah,
going to
I
be
mean-
there. I'm going to be there.
I'll be there too.
I can't believe you're going to be there. That's
What do you-
amazing.
Dude, I do my best to stay in Baton Rouge as much as possible.
I do think it's funny because we've been to the suite a handful
I have to
of
go to
times.
the doctor.
Oh, you do have to go to the doctor. I forgot about that.
See you later.
The one time we brought him.
Hope
to the
everything works out.
We brought him to the suite.
to get Adderall.
Was the one time there was no food. I thought was hilarious.
Yes, I come in last week and they're like, "Oh yeah, we had brisket, fajita, taquitos, all kinds of stuff." The one time I've been to the suite, there was no food. That's why I had to go put a hurting on the concession stand.
Sorry. I didn't know you were coming.
I'm always there.
No, you're not.
I'll be there.
If I
every time.
order 20 hamburgers and you don't show up, then I got to give 20 hamburgers away. But if I know you're there,
No, you can bring it to the. You can bring it. Here
Bring
the
it
next
here.
morning.
I'm not
next
walking out of
morning.
a
And then
suite
I'll
with-
eat- and
with
then
to-go
I'll eat it.
boxes. I'm not doing it.
I know you've got a guy who can do it.
No, I'm not.
If
I'm not
anybody's-
asking anybody to bring.
You've got a guy.
Hey man, bring this to the office for Wyatt.
You've got a guy. I know you got a guy.
I'll
you
make
got a
you go pick
hamburger
it
guy.
up. yeah, you.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
Shut
All right,
up.
let me get y'all off the air. All right, thank y'all.
appreciate you coming
See y'all.
hanging out.
Absolutely.
We'll
See
be
y'all
back.
the next day or so.
Yep. We'll be back to tomorrow morning, 8 to 10 a.m. And we will see all of you then.